Hello everybody and welcome, my name is Ursa and this is Hearts of Iron 4. I've been meaning to pick this game up properly for a little while now, and the fact there's new DLC by Blood Alone meant that I thought it would be a good time to dive back into the game, and oh boy, the game changed a lot in the couple of years since I've last played it. Yes sirree it has. Today I'm going to be diving into a game after playing only a few sort of practice games in the background. I think I know roughly what I'm doing, but you and I, yes you and I, we're going to be going through this together. I hopefully am going to show you my thought process as I try and untangle this very complicated game, and we have a go at playing what should be a fairly effective game of Hearts of Iron 4. What may happen, maybe a little bit of a car crash, I guess would be one way of putting it, but I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy the ride with me. And who knows, you may even learn something by watching what I do and go, hey, Ursa, that's the opposite of what I would have done. That's a terrible idea. Why did you do that? And you know, I'll do these things so that you don't have to. Now I suspect that this playthrough might be a little bit longer than my usual Civ content because I'm planning on putting my entire playthrough up in one video. When I put long videos up, the algorithm tends to sort of shake around a little bit like a dog with a rag in its mouth going absolutely crazy, and sometimes it flies out well and sometimes it doesn't. So all of the likes and comments and interaction that you can shove this way, especially because this is a game that isn't necessarily the core of what I do, all the help you can send my way is very much appreciated to get this going. But Hearts of Iron 4, here we come. Now if you've never seen Hearts of Iron before, it's a World War II simulator. Most people start on the 1936 start, which is what we're going to be doing as dark times emerge in Europe. Who are we going to play as today? Well, I thought, well, better to cut my teeth than to play the central protagonists of World War II. We're going to be playing Germany today, and this rather nasty man over here. Yes, let's see how well Ursa can take Germany in through World War II. Now there's a reason why Germany is often a very good country to start with. It's a major power, it has a lot of industry, it has a lot of army, and obviously if you know anything about World War II, Germany was fairly central to, you know, the shenanigans of everything that happened. Because of that, a lot of the core mechanics, the decision trees, the actions are all sort of lent to the player to kind of take Germany as the central protagonist, and it's a really good one-player experience if you kind of want to get started into the game. So if you're starting new in Hearts of Iron, I'd recommend Germany as a really good first person to play. Now just so that you know that we're not going to be doing any sort of cheeky shenanigans, we're going to be playing on regular Iron Man with historical AI focuses on. You may see me getting some very weird achievements because, well, we really haven't been doing much of this. You can see I've been playing a couple of like Iron Man games. Let's just dive straight back into this and we'll see what we can do. Now Germany in 1936 is a little bit of a chaotic mess. We have a quite considerable army, but our standing in Europe is pretty shocking. We're kind of embargoed, we've got proper demilitarization in the west of our country, in the Rhineland, and a certain someone has some rather cheeky ideas as to what to do with Europe. What we do is kind of basically, well, we're going to try and take over everything. Our mission is to defeat the Allied powers. Now the Allies start as led by Britain, United Kingdom. Cheeky scoundrels who would, oh, that island over there. Eventually France will join in, and if the war goes on late enough, so will the USA. We want to be done with that as much as we can. Germany can take over pretty much the entirety of Europe where possible. And then, of course, there's the Commintern. You just forget how just ridiculously big Russia is IRL. We play so much Civ, and, you know, obviously Russia does get more land, but not quite this much land. Now, the good thing about Hearts of Iron is that you get this rather crazy, complicated decision tree. All of these national focuses that take you down the game so you can do whatever you want. You can play it historically, and I have set the game up in historical mode, so things happen kind of historically. It all involves going to put troops back into the Rhineland to Anschluss, the combination of Germany and Austria. We can then demand the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia, eventually disintegrating the state into sort of like a Slovakian puppet, as well as some land that Germany takes, before eventually we go down to Danzig or war. We basically use Danzig as a bit of a pretense to go to war with Poland, thus kicking off off World War II in its entirety. What I'm going to be doing is attempting to play Germany as well as I can, and we're going to be doing a slightly alternative start. Now, I am not up to date with the best metas. You can win as Germany by like 1937. I've seen some crazy runs. I'm not good enough to do that. Well, I'm playing on Iron Man mode so that you can all basically copy what I do and try and sort of, I guess, like do some things that I do well, do some things I don't do well, take some combinations. Of course, comments, let me know, especially on Discord. I'm going to be setting a new section up of Discord to talk about Hearts of Iron. Come over there and just discuss with me. I'd love to know strategies of what I can do better, what I could have done, and from what I can tell, if we want to go historical, then we just basically, we go Austria, Czechoslovakia, and then we set off World War II by attacking Poland. What I'm going to be doing is going for Poland first. Now, I've seen two variations of this strategy, either going for the Netherlands or for Poland. The advantage of the Netherlands is they are smaller, a little bit easier to conquer and annex into my country, but they also have a puppet called the Dutch East Indies. Now, if you take on the Dutch, you get to puppet the Dutch East Indies. I think they literally just become the German East Indies after that point. And more importantly, they have loads of resources, lots of oil, lots of rubber. It basically provides everything Germany needs for its war machine. The advantage of going straight for either the Netherlands or Poland is that it's too early in the game. There's no world tension. The democracies, they are slow. They cannot wield their military might against us without a lot of bickering in parliaments for a long time, unless the world's really, really heated up and world tension is very high. So we want to strike literally before the iron is hot, before they can temper their armies into something special. It basically means we get 1-3 attack before the world gets a bit angry. That's kind of the idea about going for Netherlands. You're going for the puppet. The advantage of going for Poland is that Poland is a much larger, much more industrialized country. It has 26 factories, lots of civilians, lots of military. It's got a whole heaping of population, millions of people that live in Poland. And more importantly, later into the game, we basically historically would have to divide Poland up between Germany and the Soviet Union, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, which was a historical thing where Germany and Russia basically promised not to attack each other and drew a line down Poland and said, well, if you don't attack, I'll let you have this. I don't really want to give up all of that to Russia, and if I go for Poland first, I don't have to. So that's kind of the rough aim of what I'm going to be doing. We're going to be going for Poland, and then I'll be using my decision tree to chop up Austria and Czechoslovakia, absorb those pieces of land whilst I militarize, and when we're ready to go for the Allies, France and the UK probably will have joined forces. We've still got the usual things where we can go around the Maginot Line. The Miss Maginot Line in Alsace-Lorraine is possibly the most disgustingly well fortified single piece of land on the whole map. Trying to fight through this is nigh on impossible, so we go through the Netherlands, through Belgium, down into Paris like such. It's very historical in that sense. Hopefully we take over the continent, and then we think about Sea Lion, the invasion of the United Kingdom, which is always really tricky because the flipping British Navy is just so, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We've got a long way to go before we do that. Step 1, aeroplanes. I like to start with my aeroplanes, and I like to basically select all of them and say, look, that's great game, but I don't know what you're doing and I don't like it, and I just get rid of it. It's easier that way. We'll worry about putting the aeroplanes back into the sky in a little bit. Step 2, navy. Let's go and have a look and see what navy we've got. I'll give you a hint. It's not a very good navy. I think it gets put into two rough portions. We have our second fleet, which is our submarine fleet, 8 subs and 6 subs. They're all basically just sort of bathtubs with the tops sort of cemented in so that people can float around in them. They're pretty terrible. And then we've got our first fleet, which has a couple of heavy cruisers, some light cruisers, destroyers. I do have 2 battleships. I actually didn't realize that Germany started with battleships. I don't think they're very good battleships. And certainly we only have 38 boats in our entire navy. It's really not a very big navy. I'm just going to actually keep them as they are. I'm going to put a craven superior tactician in charge of my first navy. I actually quite like the idea that my navy isn't going to engage so readily with the enemy, seeing as, you know, the Navy, the Royal Navy, the British Navy, it will sink us very quickly. And I'm going to put in a Sea Wolf, a submarine expert, into my submarine fleet. Now, they're basically going to just, I don't know, stay put for a little while. There's nothing really for them to do at the moment. Again, we'll come back to them later. Next up, the military. Let's see what we've got. We have 24 units of infantry, 3 of these tank divisions, a cavalry, a mountaineer, and a motorized. The infantry isn't too bad, actually. quickly. Now, there is sort of an old meta in Hearts of Iron where combat width, the more divisions you have in a particular unit, the larger your combat width is. You kind of want that to be around 20, and the reason for that is that the game works out how much army can go into any one battle in any one piece of territory in 20 width combinations. It's like multiples of 20. So if you've got a particular scenario of like an 80 width battle or 120 width, if your units equal and perfectly divide into 20, you can get the maximum amount of your units into any one fight at any one time. Now, these days that isn't quite as effective because of the certain ways that certain field marshals can change things, but 20 is not a bad idea, and actually having 9 infantry with a support artillery engineer company, this is actually a pretty good defensive unit. I'm actually going to, and this is kind of what I'm going to call this one, this is basically going to be what I'm going to call the line defenders. So I've given them a nice little template. I can see that they've got their little rook symbol. It seems like a fortification. There's a lot of defense, a lot of organization in these units, even if a soft attack isn't very good. So they're much better at staying still than they are at pushing forward. The German Panzer Division is about as rubbish as you could imagine. It's very expensive. It has 4 light tanks and some motorized infantry, as well as some support companies. It has a terribly low organization. Organization is essentially a unit's health. The more organization it has, the more damage it can take before it starts falling apart at the seams. So you want very high organization in defendable units. I mean, if I just show you, the line defenders have 50 organization, the Panzer have 22, and the reason is tanks generally lower organization, whereas having actual infantry raises organization. There's not enough infantry to tank ratio here. It is a terrible unit. And the amount of light tanks needed to fuel this division at the moment is just ridiculous for how terrible it is. It's got, I mean, I know it's got 90 soft attack, but I mean, even my line defenders have 72. It's really not that much better. I know it's faster. I know it's got more breakthrough. It can slam through the enemy a little bit, but I mean, Germany's all about crazy powerful tank attack, and these tiny little panzerettes, they're not really doing it for me. So I will come back to that template a little later, but for now, it's not very handy. The mechanized division template is basically just my other template, but with mechanized infantry instead of regular infantry. There is a bit of a recon difference, but the difference between this and my line defenders is the line defenders are slow, cheap, and very defendable. The infantry, these ones, they're kind of exactly the same, but they're much faster and they have a lot more breakthrough. 35 compared to 84. They can take a lot more damage whilst staying on the offensive, and when they do punch through, they're 3 times as quick. So these are my attackers. Because of that, I'm going to give them kind of like this little bullet symbol. We're going to call them Speedy Speedingtons. But yeah, I've never been very serious at this game. But this is going to be my default template for an attacking division for now. For now, we will improve this template a little bit later. At the moment, we have no army experience to change any of these things. And with Hearts of Iron, often changing too much in one go can leave you kind of, yeah, just a little bit painful. It's often better to try and do things softly. This mountain brigade, these are mountain specialists. They have extra attack and defense when attacking in mountains. They're really good at it. From what I can tell, the terrain in Poland is hilly, yes, but generally speaking, where we'll be fighting, not very mountainous. Like all around Warsaw and kind of on the German borders, this is reasonably flat. There are some hills and some forests, but generally it's pretty flat. It's sort of the southern edge of Poland, which is quite mountainous. So right now, mountain specialists aren't going to be very handy for us, and ultimately this template is just very inferior to the line defender template. So I'm not really going to be using that too much at the moment. My cavalry template, I mean, these are a little bit faster. This is a slightly faster, slightly more punchy version of my line defenders, but there's only 8 combat width, and they're just not very good. This isn't a fleshed out template yet. So what I'm going to be doing is, as such, my 24 line defense, I'm going to be putting them in one little army, and I'm going to be giving them an infantry specialist. This guy will do, he's a career officer, which means he promotes faster, and an infantry officer means that he upgrades all the infantry stuff quite quickly, which is good. The remaining 6, I'm going to take these templates and I'm going to change them all to Speedy Speedington. Now, this means that I'm going to need a lot more equipment. I'm missing well over 1,000 trucks. I don't have those trucks, but it means I no longer need tanks, and I've kind of just standardized my equipment just a little bit. I think I'm going to put this dude in charge of them. He is a little bit cautious, which means that it takes a little bit to get his planning going, but when he does, his attack is much higher, and he's got a nice 5 attack. It's a little bit rubbish, but it's actually, once you actually plan the attack with this officer, generally speaking, it's okay. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to divide this army quickly in 2 and stick the second one. Again, I'm going to find another infantry officer. This guy will do. Old Guard. Okay, he levels up a little slower, so I'm actually going to take this one. He's just a regular infantry officer. And for now, I'm going to go 12 and 12 with a 6 here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my first army onto the eastern border with Poland, and this guy onto the northern border. Now, this sort of little isolated piece of Germany, we want to link that back up as quickly as possible, because at the moment, all of our supplies have to go via the sea. It's a little bit messy. It's just a little tough. What I'm then going to do is take my more motorized army. I'm going to make a much smaller front line. We're going to put it, say, onto these 2 tiles, and I'm going to get them to plan a spearhead attack, and we're basically going to try and take Warsaw and cut through Poland as quickly and as painlessly as possible, whilst the rest of my army holds the lines. This one, I mean, it can plan a general attack of sort of that nature, and my other one can do the same, but from the north. It's always good to have rough plans on them, and then, you know, they can be working on that in their own time. In terms of my military factories, well, we've already said before that we're not going to be building these Panzer tanks. These are light tanks. They're not very good. They're very expensive. I'm just going to get rid of that line entirely. Now, Germany starts with quite a lot of logistics, but I always like having at least one person on a civilian train. So I'm just going to bring this up to the top and have one factory on trains at any one point. It's probably not super needed, but you just never want to run out of actual infrastructure to get your logistics going, and having some trains always is a good thing. You can see here that we need a little bit of support artillery to man our armies, but really artillery is not the huge problem. Infantry equipment, there is a big deficit, but it's being made pretty quickly. My main problem is trucks and support equipment, and trucks are going to be a big problem. I want to make a little bit of a motorized army. I don't really need it right now, but I do want to put quite a few on. So I'm just going to make sure that we've got at least 5, oh, put that on the wrong one, 5 resources into this. Now, actually, one thing I want to keep an eye on is to make sure that any deficit I have in terms of resources are all perfectly in factors of 8, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade for some rubber. Let's trade it with somebody relatively neutral, like Brazil will do fine. I effectively want that to be no more than 0, and I don't want to be sending out any of my civilian factories where I don't need to, so having them in factors of 8 is actually quite handy. I'm going to put 1 more on support equipment. We're going to put 2 more on towed artillery. Planes-wise, these planes are all just a little bit rubbish. I'll keep them for now just as they are, but we're going to just put some more onto guns and infantry equipment, because my main job to start with is to basically get my army out. Often, the thing about Germany is they are an industrial powerhouse. People get so excited about them being able to build loads of stuff, but if you don't have the army to field the horribly large lines of World War II, you get overrun very quickly. You need the manpower on the field first before you can get the crazy weapons. So what we're going to be doing is basically training as many of my standard line defender units as I can, and I'm going to be focusing on getting them out quickly. In terms of building, I'm going to immediately just build on the other side of my country. This is fine. Rhineland is good. I'm just going to get some military factories out. It makes sense for me to do that as quickly as possible. Tech-wise, we're going to go for a pretty standard start, to be honest. You go for basic machine tools and construction 1, as well as going for electronic mechanical engineering. And what I'm going to do is with my other slot, I just want to make sure that my inventory equipment is always up to date. So we'll go for the first branch of that. And we're basically going to be keeping my industry up to date, as well as going for inventory equipment as the main thing. Now, here's the thing. We're going to be attacking Poland as early as possible. If I select a national focus, I lose political power. You lose 1 per day when you are doing one of these. So if I don't pick anything, my political power will go up quicker, and I can justify on Poland faster. I'm going to need 50 to do that. So what we're going to do is I'm basically just going to wait on this one. I'll just make sure that I haven't got... oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't just do my navy. What I like to do is just make sure I have multiple extra factories in the repair queue when you need them, because I always forget to do that later and my navy dies and I always wonder why. I'm going to bring my heavy ships to the top to get these done first, and I'm going to just sort of stack everything there. I mean, these are all pretty much done. Cruiser hulls, yeah. Maybe, as I say, the German Navy is just, it's not particularly good beginning of the game. So we've got the destroyers, we've got the submarines, basically just waiting at the bottom. And what we're going to do is just make sure that once all of these boats are done, they're not making any more, because I will want autonomy later into the game to make sure that we're building the boats that we want to build. So then, once we've done that, we will just let our army just sort of navigate its way around, and I will press on until we get to 50 political power. Once we've done that, as you can see, 51, as early as possible on the 21st of January, we can justify the war goal. And you know what? I'm going to take Danzig. Feels like a good place to justify on. We'll send that 250 days and we will be kicking off our war with Poland. As I say, the advantage to doing it this early is that the world is not tense enough for the UK or France to guarantee them. So we will not be kicking off World War II. This is effectively the sort of my initial provocation to the world. There's nothing they'll be able to do about that. When I do go to war, the Rhineland will get automatically remilitarized, so I will skip this, so there's no point going for it. I would suggest you go for army innovations is really good. You can get some extra army experience. You can also go down the 4-year plan tree, which means that you start to build all the infrastructure much quicker. And I really like these two. 6 civilian factories, 6 civilian factories. There are some huge industry bonuses as well as an extra research slot. So I'm going to go down 4-year plan to start with. The good thing about having a nice early war with Poland is that I'm going to get all the army experience that I could ever need. It's going to be absolutely fine. If you see, we've had a couple of days go through. The trucks are going to take 244 days to finish, which is convenient because I've actually only got 250 days until my war with Poland. Support equipment might take a little longer, but it's infantry equipment and artillery which will ramp up fast, and those are the ones that I'm going to need to get these divisions out as quickly as possible. I probably only need one run of these troops for now. I don't want to be making too many. I need to make sure that the troops I do have in the world are strong enough. You know, there's no point in having 3 times as many divisions as I can actually outfit. You want them all to have full equipment at all times. Let's just put them down on Koslin. And so we basically just wait. You can see we're building extra military factories. Germany builds stuff really quickly, and all of my extra factories are going to be going into inventory equipment until we stack up 15 of them, and then we can see what else we're going to need. And I'm just going to top up to make sure that I'm getting as many of these line defenders out as possible. You never know, I might even be able to squeeze out another speedy Speedington. But you don't want to go for too many of those units because trucks are expensive. So the new DLC made the Italy-Ethiopian war really, really complicated, and I really am looking forward to having a bit of an Italy run on this. It looks really both painful and awesome, but yeah, it's crazy. I'm still 50-50 as to whether or not I'm going to team up with Italy in this war. They can be somewhere between brilliant and liabilities. It depends on which Italy shows up. Now, I've got the 4-year plan. We're just going to be going straight down the right-hand side of this tree. I want the 12 extra civilian factories. I mean, 82 versus 70 is a huge swing. The other advantage to going after Poland this early is, can you see the orange bars on their troops? They are severely under-equipped. They do not have equipment in 1936. The quicker I go to war with them, the more I catch them unprepared, and it makes my life a lot easier. Let's just go for radio, and then I'll go for electrical computing, I believe. So you can see by the end of April already my line of infantry equipment is totally finished, and we can just go and have a reassess and see what is taking the longest to do. 215 days on infantry equipment, 146 on trucks. That's looking pretty good, and support equipment needs a little bit more help as well. I realise actually we're not building anywhere near as much artillery as we could have feared, so I don't actually need this tungsten at all. I can get that civilian factory back. So we need support equipment and we need trucks. I'm just going to make 2 support equipment, and then I'm going to make another 3 trucks, and then just see how that plays out. It will mean that I need another load of rubber, but I'm happy to trade for 1 more rubber because I just took it off the tungsten, so that's looking pretty good. What else is using chromium? Is that just my planes? Oh no, it's because the ships are being rushed through. That's right. Okay, well, you know, that's fine. What I did is I stacked up all of the naval dockyards so that basically it puts them all, and then once the ship's done, it then stacks full to the next one, and then to the next one, and to the next one, and it just basically cycles through as quickly as possible. So the first batch of the line defenders is now being popped down. I'm just going to assign them. I need more on this eastern army than I do on my northern army, because this border with Poland is a lot bigger. So I'll just make sure that they all go and deploy themselves there, make sure that we can actually man the line fully. I've got my first chunk of political power up as well. I think sometimes going for a wall industrialist at the beginning of the game can be really handy, because this is extra military factory construction, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. But if I go for somebody who gives me fascism support and war support, that could be fun. It's more stability for my country, as well as just better war support. I think I might go for the silent workhorse though. No, Thirst Among Equals. We'll go for this one, because this is political power gain, as well as having extra production. Actually, no, he runs away, doesn't he? Okay, we'll not use him. We'll use this one, political power gain, 15% extra political power gain. Get them in really early game. It means you get more power gain later through, and you can put more stuff in later. It's awesome. Now, I tend not to exercise my troops too much at the beginning of the war. Poland generally is pretty under strength, and if you go for them really quickly, it's not a problem. And I like to make sure that my army actually is equipped. If you train your army, you tend to burn for equipment pretty quickly, and I just don't have spare equipment at the moment. Now, I got an industry boost from my tree. I think it was from the 4-year plan. So what I'm going to be doing is using that one on extra machine tools. Having that efficiency cap increase is massive, because it means that anything I'm building, this cap just increases, 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 and it means you just build more and more and more, and it's just awesome. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Concentrated industry or dispersed industry. Now, this is another thing to think about. I prefer to have dispersed. I like the ability to withstand bombing, and I like the ability to change your mind and just, you know, get more efficiency based on the production lines, more retention if you switch your minds. I know that you get a little bit less by the end of the game as if you went for concentrated, but for me it works quite well, and that's pretty good. So the more factories you have, the more consumer goods you require. It's this sort of weird percentage that's determined by your level of mobilization, as well as some other factors. I have these, what do they call them, metho builds at the moment, which is giving me a nice reduction in consumer factories as I'm secretly rearming. Once I go to war, well, I lose that bonus. Germany only gets that bonus from the beginning. So going to war can sometimes be a little bit counterintuitive, but I like to think that the addition of Poland into my empire means that this is kind of made a bit redundant. But what you will find is that the consumer goods will start to eat as many of your consumer factories, just more and more and more and more of them. So eventually I do like to build more. So let's just put another little run of civilian factories once this all these military factories get finished. I'm producing a lot of stuff for my army right now, and as you can see, yeah, we're stockpiling, we're sticking up enough, we're doing well. In fact, actually, what I'm going to be doing is I want to make sure that my mechanized army is looking good, so I will just run my trucks up to 10. Before I forget, I will just ask for one more load of rubber from Brazil. Lovely stuff. So I'm just going to pick up, it's not worth going into war artillery just yet. Just stay with economy for now. I think mechanical computing is really good. Having extra research speed, beginning of the game, stacks up for later into the game. It's all good. Before we do this attack, I will put an inventory expert in as one of my advisors. 10% extra attack and 15% extra defense on a mostly infantry-led army. It's a big bonus. I like that. That's really good. That's the sort of thing that makes me very happy. You can see we just got our first load of 6 civilian factories. We're going to just take another load of 6 civilian factories there as well. Oh, German early game industry is it's just a delight. You can just build so much stuff. Look, only 137 days to build another 5 factories. Oh, it's beautiful. My equipment's doing much better than I thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm just actually going to shift-click exercise on my truck army. I want to make sure that these units are pretty equipped. It means that they will train up to regular, I believe. It'll give me some army experience, not a huge amount, and it shouldn't take too much of my equipment to run that. No, it's barely touching it, which is good. But it just means that my spearhead attack is going to be nice and powerful. Okay, now I'll go for interwar artillery. I probably shouldn't put that off for too long. Oh look, more troops. Let's just take 4 of those, put them onto this army, and then I'll take the other 2 and get them onto this line as well. If we're going to start stacking this northern front now, this is where we're going to attack basically from behind the Polish lines. And if we can sort of cut and connect ourselves and sort of cut off some of the Polish army near Danzig and near the northern coast, it just makes it much more difficult for them to defend. Just keep an eye on when your justification's going to finish. It's going to happen on the 28th of September. I just want to make sure that my army stops exercising about 10 days before to give them time to get their organization back up. And you can actually see we're going to go to war and we're actually down a little bit on equipment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that this is probably going to be enough equipment. These 3 units, they're not kind of going to get out in time, so I'm going to stop training them, let these 2 finish. But that just means that some of that equipment I was using floods back in and I've gone positive again. I don't want to attack ideally with an equipment shortfall. It's just normally a bad idea when that happens. I'm going to start now to investigate into military police as well. We will be taking Poland over. We need to make sure that we can keep it afterwards, otherwise the whole thing is a bit pointless. There we go. I'm going to slow it down to 3 speed. We've got our justification finished, and immediately we are going to declare war. Now, you saw all that text on that screen. That was telling me that my MEFO bills expires as soon as I go to war. It's all fine. We don't mind that. Now, basically, you need to do kind of a couple of things. Danzig at the beginning of the war starts with no troops in. It's because it is demilitarized. That is, I mean, the Polish start in this game is really tough, and that's just one of the many reasons why it is tough. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you take it quickly. I've got 3 units on this tile. One of them is going to walk straight into Danzig. This one is going to pin these units on that tile. This one is going to pin this unit. This one will pin this unit, and this one will pin this unit. After that point, I want my spearhead attack to immediately slam in, and we want to push right through. I want to do that aggressively. In fact, I actually want to do everything aggressively, and there's a few things that I have realized that I've just forgotten, so let's just do this. Firstly, I want to make sure all 3 of my armies are actually under a field marshal. That would have been a clever move. You see, I said we'd be learning together. These are the things that you need to remember. Should we put, this is a defensive one. This one's into Panzer. Offensive Doctrine. Oh, 4 attacking. I'm going to put this one in charge. Lovely. Oh, and the other thing I want to do is make sure I have an air force. Right, air force is an important thing, isn't it? Oh dear, what am I doing? What we're going to do is to use the quick deploy button. This is a really handy button, and it means I want to deploy fighters, I want to deploy close air support, and I want to deploy tactical bombers. West Poland is the field of battle, and I think actually deploying them from Königsberg is probably better. So let's put down about half of them. So I'll put 3 wings of medium airframes. They are going to just immediately deploy into Western Poland, and they can act with, I mean, their ground attack is pretty much 0, I think, pretty much. I'm not entirely sure what this actually does well. It's an interesting plane. What does it even have? Strap. I think the strap bombing is higher than the regular bombing, although it helpfully is saying 0 right now, which isn't very good. I'm going to put them onto strategic bombing to get rid of some infrastructure behind, and what I'll do is deploy another 2 wings from the other direction. This is from my German names. They're going to go straight to Western Poland, and we're going to strategic bomb as well. I'm going to put 1 close air support, put it into the same field, and we will do some close air support, and I'll put a 2nd air wing up. I mean, there's only 9 planes in this one, so doing this is probably a little bit pointless, but what you're going to do. And then I've got 310, so I'm going to put 2 air wings. These are of fighters. I'm going to get 1 of them to do air superiority, 1 of them to do interception, and then I will get these 2. I'll deploy the rest of the fighters over your pop, and I'll get both of these on air superiority. Okay, perfect. I should have done that probably a couple days ago. It may take a couple days for my planes to get into the air, but what are you gonna do? Make sure that your field marshal knows to aggressively do things. That's wonderful. Everyone can go. Everyone's on. Basically, what we're gonna do is get my entire infantry line. We are better equipped. We are more numerous, and I want to make sure that we pin Poland down as much as possible. And you can see, look, just when that initial attack, lots of lovely green bubbles, mostly green bubbles. Green bubbles mean that, fingers crossed, things are going well. I probably, you know what, do I get the Navy to do anything? Lots of shallow seas around here, which means that a lot of my Navy is a little bit useless. Tell you what, I'll get my big Navy. What we'll do is I'll get them on convoy raiding, just to stop Poland from being able to get anything in and out. So yeah, we'll pop them there. We'll make sure that they're kind of working from this base. It just gives me a little bit of naval experience, not a lot, but some to use later, so that's a good thing. So as you can see, the attack will begin. What I'm going to hopefully see is my motorized divisions punching through and making a nice little hole. And you can see, look, we actually got into Danzig there, so that's good as well. So keep an eye out for big numbers. Once you see them hit close to 100, you know you're about to break through. And what you want to do is you want to sort of micromanage it a little bit to make sure that your attacks go through. So this one, I'm just going to hold shift and say, right, where are these troops going to reinforce and fall back to? Probably this tile. I'm going to just punch straight in and make sure that they can't escape. So as we go, look, oh, they've actually retreated to that. So what I'll do is say, no, instead I want to go to there and then to Warsaw. And we're just basically going to push. We're going to push out and make sure that we just take as much land as possible. I'm going to make sure that this unit, you come down to there and you go to there as well. I want to break through. I want to cause some lovely pockets. Like it's happened over here as well. You can see that these armies have actually fallen back to this tile. And because of that, their organization is incredibly low. So I'm just going to see if we can pincer them like this. I'll just use S to select half, attack like that, and we'll go like this. I'll just force attack to make sure that they can't reinforce. But if I can take this tile behind, whilst these troops are, well, they can't defend themselves, I can sort of trap a bunch of Polish troops in Poznan. And look, yep, the pocket has been made. So far, so good. 2 trucks appear to just be driving straight into Warsaw. 1 I'm going to send in the other direction to basically chop up as much of this Polish line as I can, like so. And this is where motorized are so quick. Look, we've actually got to Warsaw super quickly. That's all lovely. The other thing to do is to press F4. F4 means you can have a look at the supply network. Now, the supply network is how Poland are sending reinforcements to the front lines. I want to chop up as much of these railway lines as I can. So actually having this truck moving into this tile is a really good thing. It means, look, there we go. They have lost the railway that connects all of this to the front line, and it's tough. Look, we actually pushed through here as well. So all of these troops now have these units entrapped. They cannot escape, and we will surround and eliminate them all quickly. Warsaw has already fallen. This is proving to be quite effective. I'm using my motorized to just sort of shark around and take as many reinforceable sort of points as I can. Stop the enemy from reinforcing themselves. I want to entrap units, stop them from breaking through. You're attacking, that's not going to work. Just hold that ground, please. Thank you so much. There you go, nice little pocket has been made there as well now. These motorized, I need you to just reinforce the lines, please. This is the problem, I've kind of got so much land, I need to make sure that Poland can't walk back into it. I'm going to use some of my political power to just stick an army logistics person in. That will give me just a little bit less attrition and mean that my supply is a little bit easier to do. They did just walk into Warsaw again. I moved my army so quickly, I then forgot to reinforce it. It's a very typical thing for me to do, but I took it once. It's going to be pretty easy to do again. Like, such was the effectiveness of the breakthrough. We've actually separated out the entirety of the 2 Polish armies. We've got this northern pocket of about 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13, 14, 16 divisions, which are now completely cut off from Warsaw and cannot be resupplied, and then everyone else in the south. It's looking pretty good. So far, this attack has worked well. As you can see, all of the fighting is happening in western Poland, and we do have air superiority here. That's a good thing. Just everyone just keep pushing through now. We're just going to hit the victory points and make sure that Poland capitulates nice and quickly. I don't want this to go on any longer than it needs to for anybody, really. And look, we've already got my extra 12 civilian factories, and we're going to go for the 5th research slot because Germany is a really, really good, I'm going to say civ there for a second, wrong game, really good country to start with. If you've never played this game before, I would massively recommend you give them a go. It's a masterclass in having to learn the mechanics of the game very quickly. So that takes Warsaw yet again. If we have a look at Poland now, they are 62% of the way towards capitulation, and we can do this hopefully nice and quickly now. Oh, look at this encirclement. Look at this encirclement. This is brutal. Absolutely brutal. A very comprehensive victory there for us. So you'll notice how disorganized my army is here. We've actually pushed through so quickly that we've just totally lost all organization. So really what I could do is just spend a couple of, days just letting my army reorganize and then going again. I'm not going to do that, but that's something that I could do if I was concerned about, losing the plot a little bit. And here we go with about 14,000 casualties to 230 49,000. Poland capitulates. The early job is done. Now, pretty much, you're playing as Germany, you need the land, we're going to annex all of it. No messing around with puppets or anything like that. I'm also going to ask to take the navy, the whole Polish navy of, I'm actually not sure how many ships this is. It's not, I don't think it's many. So, taking all the land, taking all the navy, confirm an exit, and breathe a sigh of relief as you see the fact that your country has expanded a little bit and you didn't press the wrong button, which often happens and is often a total nightmare. Oh dear. And there we go. War number 1 complete. Take your navy, tell it to go to bed, that you've been using all of your fuel and you're going to have none left if you keep it out and about. And that is stage 1 complete. The next stage is to up your army. What we want is to have as many fields of this as we can. I kind of want at least 5 divisions of 24 line defenders, and they will act as my frontline reserves. I then need to make a little bit of a change to my attacking crew. And again, this is one of those things where often when people play Germany, you go too big, too quickly. Let's just keep the units fairly standard, fairly easy to produce, and I'm going to train 2 lines, 24 of them. This will give me 2 more armies. Actually, no, a third will do, and then I'll put that on medium equipment priority, and I'll make 1 line of 7 with high priority. Now that 7 will just fill in this one and make it 24, and then I'll have 3 chunks left to come. That'll give me a full field marshal with 5 sets of line defender army. I've also picked up a bit of army XP, which is a lovely thing. So what we're going to be doing is having a tweak to the Speedy Speedington. It's a pretty good army, but this is my, pushing army, and this is the one that I want to have all of the attack on. I want the soft attack to be much higher. I could put a tank on it. Putting tanks on it would help. I'd want to keep the speed nice and high though. So what I'm going to do is put some motorized artillery on. Now this ups the soft attack quite considerably. It lowers the organization a little bit, so we don't want to put too much on, but this will absolutely give the unit a sufficiently larger amount of bite. I think I'm going to put 4 on. That'll take it to 30 width and means we've still got more than 30 organization. And tank divisions and attacking divisions, I've said, or I've seen written somewhere that you should keep it above 30. I don't know actually if that's super true or not, but I'm going to use 20 of my military experience just to save that in, and then that will hopefully start to build itself out. I will probably need a considerably large amount of artillery to make that work because I don't have anything in stockpile for that. Look at that, that's all worked itself out now. I need a little bit of everything. 263 days of support equipment. No, trucks are doing okay. Trucks are fine. Infantry equipment will burn away. Artillery is looking a little bit tasty as well. Okay, so what we'll do, I'll up support equipment to 6. I am going to let artillery go 1 more. That'll give it the limit of the tungsten that I've got. I will take off, I would say 2 of my trucks. Actually, for now, let's do to this point, and then I've got 8 rubber left, and I can get rid of this trade that I had before. As I say, I want my civilian factories back if I can. That way I can put 1, 2, 3, 4 in, and I can put that back, and I can actually use that. I can trade with Portugal, give it the tungsten. Okay, so that's my civilian factory sort of switched effectively, and I will up my inventory equipment to 20 so that we can just whack out the troops as fast as possible. Whilst I have 100 political power, what I'm going to quickly do is get a chief of army. I'm going to get army offense. I think that's probably better than organization, although division organization. This is general defense and being able to continue with attacks. I'm actually going to get that one. I feel like sometimes organization is underused, but more importantly, I now get 0.3 army experience daily. I'm getting a little bit of exercise done on my units whilst we're between wars, but I think this is a good thing to do. Next up also, I'm going to be doing things that push my war support up a little bit. I want to get this dude in order to get the war support above 50 so that I can switch over to war economy. That'll give me a little bit more building and free up a couple more of my consumer goods factories. That should be good for me. I might up my conscription in a bit as well, although we have 840,000 people spare at the moment. And yeah, I mean, I've only got 480 deployed. So, I mean, at the moment, manpower's okay, but we don't want to let it go too late into the game without it recovering, because it takes a little bit of time to sort itself out. Oh, this is always the terrible bit. The METHO payments come due once you've gone to peace as Germany. It only lasts 80 days, so that massive hit you take to the consumer goods. It doesn't last very long. Oh, 36 factories. Oh, we're practically frozen for a second. That's ridiculous. Look how quickly my stuff is repairing, by the way, though. That's pretty cool. And look at this, because I'm prioritizing my equipment being sent to the garrisons, the infantry equipment is quickly being sent there. We should be able to keep any resistance down in Poland very easily. So now that I have the extra research slot, I'm switching back over to the regular German tree. Now, weirdly enough, this Poland start is the perfect non-aligned Germany start. If you were to go into civil war by opposing the bad man, you'll notice that the Polish provinces remain yours when you go for a civil war. So it actually makes the civil war itself rather easy, I guess would be the term for that. We're not going to be doing that today. I'm going to be going down the left-hand side of the tree. So if we do Rhineland, you'll see that I can bypass it immediately. That's because war meant that I actually, well, remilitarized these two districts as they were, so that's all good. And I just need to wait for a turn or two. This is proper civ talk going on at the moment. You can see in the field I've got 496,000 army. To do Anschluss, I need 500,000. So actually what I can probably do is just force deploy a couple of my troops. If I just go to Berlin and force deploy them. They're pretty weak, but they will level up with the army experience. As you can see, I'm doing an army exercise so that they all get to regular strength. But now I can do Anschluss. Because it's historical focus, it normally means that Austria should automatically accept. Now, once I open up 5 research policy slots, what I like to do is focus 3 on regular industry and army, 1 on navy, and 1 on airplanes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start on the airplanes. We're going to start to unlock some of the extra bits like range improvements, extra engines, better machine guns, all of the things that make our planes better. And I'm going to keep that 5th slot on airplane tech. This 4th slot I'm going to switch to naval tech as well. Between the two, it should be nice. As I'm getting army experience as well, what I'm going to quickly do is just keep building up this Shark Brigade in order to expand it out a little bit. What you'll see is that as I'm using this Shark of Suppression, it's currently taking 30 production cost per division. Now, weirdly, if you make a division bigger, because of how it calculates it, normally it means that you require less of them, which is pretty good. So if I just throw my extra cavalry experience into that, make it into an 16 width rather than 6 width. It should show you as I go to this one, once it all upgrades, that it takes a little bit less. Unless they've patched it. They might have patched it, to be fair. Yeah, okay. I think actually what it does do is when the military police gets put in, I think that's what it is. I've got to wait until that's been researched, and I am researching that. That's only 71 days away. There's the artillery, by the way, so we're going to go to naval tech, and when it comes to navy, I'm going to be focusing on building destroyers and battleships. I'm going to be making battle cruisers. This seems to be the best meta at the moment. It used to be making cruisers into light cruisers, or like heavy, capital ships that could attack light stuff, but that's not necessarily as useful anymore. But we will take some naval tech, and anything that improves my long range attack and other stuff like that is all good. I'm just going to spend some time getting some of these shells, make sure that we've got better weapons for our boats. That all works for me. And there you go. Look, the MEFO payments have already gone down. It didn't take long. Everything that was broken is now been fixed as well, so it's all fantastic. So as discussed, getting war support up with this person means that we go to above 50% war support, and I can now switch to war economy. It's a good switch for me. We'll be doing that in a bit. So Anschluss has just been triggered. I think they should automatically accept, given the fact that we're on historical focus, but we'll double check. And yeah, there we go. Across they pop. Look at that, just a free country that's just been incorporated into our own. We're at 117 factories. Yeah, Germany is a really good game. Now, I do start with some semi-decent divisions, but I'm actually just going to disband them in order to put the manpower pool, the infantry equipment, the support equipment. I'm just going to put that back into my pool. They're not that good a unit. I'd rather build my own. I could convert them, but right now I think actually just making sure that I've got stuff in the supply, it just floods my garrison, makes sure that everything's looking pretty good. good on that one. Yeah, so far so good. Oh, I'm actually getting some more military factories. What was I building? I should be building an air force soon. That is something I should do, but I'm just aware that the airframes I've got are, how do I put this, a little bit terrible at the moment because they're not upgraded yet. So that's why I'm not throwing my production into them just yet. I will be building a lot of planes later. I'm getting the line defenders up. So yeah, really, I'm just going to keep improving everything that I'm doing. Let's put a couple more into support equipment. I'll put a couple more into artillery and we'll think about it later. I don't think I need more inventory equipment for now. Whilst I wait for Sudetenland to appear, I haven't got 725,000 in the field just yet, but that's coming down quickly. What I'm going to do is just go for naval rearmament and then naval effort. That gives me 3 boat yards. I could also do another one to get another 4. I do want to build some navy, so actually just 35-day things. I mean, this is pretty handy for me. Now, I like putting the squeeze on Yugoslavia. I mean, it doesn't really do much for my particular game, but I just find it funny. So I will. Now, at this point in the game, you start to get opportunities to invite people into your faction. I'm going to just ignore that for now. I like the idea of kind of doing this by myself a little bit. We might invite people into the factions later into the game when I realise that I'm absolutely out of my depth, but until that point, I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. And you can see, look at this, the resistance in Poland is beginning to stabilise nicely now. Resistance target 9. Yeah, this is so far pretty good. Resistance target 14, it's nice and low. I like that. If I get stability up, that helps a little bit as well. Actually, I probably should spend a little bit of time getting my stability up. It would free up a couple more consumer good factories and also does another couple of bits and pieces for me. So maybe if there's anyone that gives me stability, I don't actually know if Germany gets any stability people on a fascist run. I don't think they do. So I might have to work a few improved worker conditions and democratic raids and things like that in order to get that through, get my government up a bit. Actually, I could probably do that. That's probably something that would be worth it. But there is war economy. Really good. I love it. Helps me to build military factories as well. I mean, that's just in itself is worth it, as well as freeing up even more consumer goods factories. What are we up to now? That brings it down to 17. We're at 16%. That's pretty damn good. Just have military police finish, so I'm going to use again some more army experience, and I tend to quite like a 20 width with the military police in. Now, the thing about military police is it turns my suppression, and I believe it gives it like another 20% on top of that. So if I just do that, bam, up to 24, it's a really good improvement for that division. It means I will need a bit of support equipment thrown that way, but I had quite a bit in stock anyway, so that's good. My next project is to try and build some anti-air and some anti-tank. My defensive units, I'd like a support company of both in to stop any armed forces rolling through my defensive lines and also to give them a bit of cover from airplanes. So what I will do, actually, we'll freeze out the towed artillery at that point, but I'm just going to start a line of anti-air and we're going to build just a little bit of a surplus of them. There's nothing being produced at the moment that'll use anti-air, but I will feed those into the divisions that I've got soon. I will need some more tungsten for that though, so I probably am going to have to do a bit more trading, but never mind, it's all good. Just going to get a Spirit of the Academy and go for political loyalty. It's not particularly good in terms of training my generals up, but I do like the extra stability that your party popularity can give you. It's really handy. It's got up to 98% stability now. I like having 100 stability if I can get it. The economic benefits are well worth it. Don't normally like doing this too much, but I'm just going to continue force deploying entire lines of my new troops in order just to increase the amount of troops I have in the field so that I can progress down demand Sudetenland. The quicker I can start accumulating all of this extra land, it's free, it's given to me on my focus tree, it just means I can get economically more powerful quicker. I'm going to plop this guy down. The damage to garrison reductions and the ability to suppress all of that resistance is quite handy, so I'll pop them in, especially as I'm going to start taking more and more land now. It all massively helps. As I say, I'm not planning on attacking with these line defenders at all. Sometimes I put like a single thing of artillery in just to make sure that that works well. That's going to be quite difficult to do. But what I'm going to do is just literally pop an extra infantry in to make it combat with 20. It's just a slightly better division. Think I'd prefer to do that one like that. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to, sorry, this is the pedantic aspect of me. I'm just going to sort this out quickly. There we go. That's much better. Just means though that every single one of my units is just going to just become 20 width, which is a little bit better. A lot of them are going to need just a little bit of experience though, so let's just get them all training again. I want them all regulars. Regulars are good. And we are now in the position to start building more boats. Okay, let's have a look and see what we've got. And we'll start trying to build some of our heavy ships because we're still quite early. Actually, hang on. No. Get rid of that. I need to start a new line so that I can change it. Well, you know what? Actually, I need to wait just a few days. The fire control system isn't quite ready. I don't want to be building anything too bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to put a few onto convoys. It's always good to have some convoys because the allies are going to sink quite a few. So I'll just get a few of those. And for now, I'm just going to put like say 5. Actually, I'll put them all into submarines and then we'll change that around in a second. But submarines are always good to have. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Stability and war support as I claim the Sudetenland. Done. We're up to 100 stability. Beautiful, beautiful. It's exactly what we want to see. Again, it's always worth just checking in and seeing what the stability is going to be like. I think because I didn't take it in war, I haven't even got to worry about stability in that area. So that's brilliant. Look at that. I'm going to go down first Vienna Award. That will give some land to Hungary. Not ideal, but it means that we can get down to Fleet of Czechoslovakia, and that basically just scoops the rest of the country into my land. Delicious. I'm not really bothering with any of the anti-air or the railways or supply hubs or anything like that at the moment because right now we haven't really got any need to press for war. I'm happy just industrializing. We're up to 136. It's looking really, really good for us right now. I think I'm going to do one more splurt of civilian factories. Let's just use these provinces there, and then after I've done that I'll switch over to military factories and we can start to just get even more. Yeah, this is all good. I'm just focusing on doing into the districts with 80% industry. There are things I can do to give myself more connections, like what's this one? So this one gives infrastructure in these areas up to max, which is a really cool thing. But right now I've got other priorities. Germany has too many good things they can do all at once and you just feel the need to do them all, but you shouldn't. Whilst I've got huge stability, I'm just going to whittle down the communist and democratic factions that I have here, and we're going to, yeah, just spend some time on that one. So I'm going to get rid of, do some anti-democratic raids and some anti-communist raids. That should help to whittle down these factions. My stability takes a small hit for a little bit, but that will very quickly start to pick back up. And there's the anti-tank. Good. I can now start a line of anti-tank in my nation as well. As I say, I'd quite like a support anti-tank and anti-air company in every single one of my units if I can. There's the first Vienna Award. Let's do the fate of Czechoslovakia. I believe this just gives Hungary the edge of the country. I might be wrong. And actually, one thing I'm going to do now is work on getting some port guard. This is the second line of troops that I want to do. The line defenders are almost done. I've almost got all of my 5 armies full of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a nice cheap port guard unit. This Austrian unit that I've taken is actually really handy. I'm going to just remove one of these inventory, keep an engineer company on it, 10 width, defendable units. I'll give them a nice thing that makes me feel like they are port guards. Look at this little sailor hat. Wonderful. Call them port guard. Perfect. And I will, yeah, I think I'm just going to deploy some lines of them. I can probably about 70 divisions. All they're going to do is basically just stand on the coast and stop the UK from invading me. Actually, we'll go 48 for now. I don't need to worry too much about this. It's going to take a lot of my manpower, but again, naval invasions, they are the worst. They are the absolute worst. You do not want it to happen. Oh look, low manpower. I told you it would happen eventually. Don't worry, the main suck on my manpower is going to not be as bad anymore. This is the time though, I'm just going to go to extensive conscription. Training time, 10%? There, don't mind that, that's fine. But this will just trickle in, hopefully, an extra 2 million or so manpower into my nation. And just in case I didn't have enough, yeah, Germany gets some crazy manpower. So I've got sonar, I've got fire control systems. I think the time is kind of now to start deploying my boats. So what are we going to build? I'm going to build myself a heavy ship. I think this is going to be the first thing to do. I'm probably going to just change over this one. This is a 1936 hull. It's not the best, but it should give me something to change. Like, it's got fire control systems, it's got engines, a lot of this stuff, it just saves me having to spend huge amounts of naval experience fixing it. So I'm going to call it 1936 BattleCruiser, just so I don't forget. I have to name things. It's just, yeah, I have to do these things. And what we're going to do is basically focus on making this light attack. Obviously, it wants to be capital ship. I need it to stay as a capital ship because there are two types of ship, and it's just important that I have this as a capital one, but I need the light attack to be as high as possible. So, a heavy battery. You can see this is costs one. It's actually a cheaper battery to put down, so I can do that. Makes my ship slightly faster. That's all good. Give it a little bit more anti-air. It kind of helps, and I'll give it a better fire control system. That helps massively as well. And here we go. I want to give it some secondary batteries. If we can do this and give it as much light attack as possible, I need that to be as high as we can get it. What's good? A rear custom. I don't even know what that is. Let's just keep going for secondary battery. There we go. Look at this. Light attack is way higher than it was. No, in fact, it's actually too high. It's too high. I can't afford the design. Lovely. What I might just have to do quickly is take my navy, if I can get to it, and I just need to exercise it just briefly whilst yeah, there we go. It's going to drain my fuel a little bit, but this should give me some pretty decent naval experience, and that'll just be clocking up in the background whilst I make this design. So some anti-aircraft, but basically just a fleet of light attack to mince down all of the light boats. I quite like this. This is good. I'm just going to wait until we get to 29 naval experience, like so. Save it as the battle cruiser, and now all of my naval shipyards are just going to make this. We will get, I mean, that's almost finished, but let's do this as the battle cruiser. Yep, perfect. 1940, it reckons it'll be finished. Oh joy, it's in 1939. That's a little bit better. Maybe we'll just get one of those built, I'll maybe build one more, because I'm going to get some more shipyards in a second anyway, so that's good. And as you can see, we are down on chromium. Chromium is, yeah, it's giving me a huge penalty, so I probably should trade in for one more piece of chromium, but yeah, you know what, that's not so bad. I don't mind this. Cuba will do. Let's send it to Cuba. I'll only ask for the one. I don't need two. I don't mind a small chromium penalty. Look at that. There we go. It's much better. And afterwards, we're going to wait for the 1940 destroyer hull. Once I've got these, I'll start pushing those out quickly as well. That'll be a lovely thing for me. The idea behind Germany is not to have a super massive fleet. I appreciate this, but you know, if I'm going to have some boats, I want them to be semi-decent boats. Let's just actually stop my navy from exercising now. They are eating up my fuel, and I don't have that much fuel at the moment, so yeah, we'll just hold on for that. So this is probably a good time to put a chief of navy in. Commerce raiding genius. Ooh, I like capital ships. Yeah, let's just, I think decisive battle is probably the better one for me. I mean, I probably shouldn't be focusing that much on capital ships, but I like it. It's too much fun. So Czechoslovakia has been carved up. Do I want to partition it with Hungary? No. Do I want to set up Slovakia as a puppet state? No. I think I'm going to use my political power, I'm going to gain some more support, and I'm going to annex the whole of it. Let's just not mess around. Let's take the whole thing. Beautiful. Look at that. This actually does have a little bit more resistance to worry about. Again, local police force isn't a bad thing, but just on the capital, Prague, put it onto secret police. I swear by having the capital as a policed state. It just makes it a lot easier. So where to go for now? We can continue building up our industry, or we can think about what we want to do later in. Reassert Eastern claims gives me Memel, I believe. Now, this kind of works better when Poland's in the game. I mean, there is, of course, Danziger War here, and Danziger War is a bit of a problem, but I do want to go down to around Maginot. I need that. I want to be able to get that as soon as I can, because when I do go to war with the Allies, being able to go through the Netherlands and Brussels with quick speed is very important. It's whether I need to do it right now. I can also go demand Slovenia and start to take land from Yugoslavia. It's a little bit less likely to happen, but again, it's free land, and sometimes you have to ask yourself, why not? There's also 6 military factories on offer in German war economy, as well as getting some more infrastructure. Do I want to spend just a little bit of time getting some more infrastructure? That's the question. Or do I want to expand the land I've got? I think I'm going to expand the land I've got for now. Yeah, so there we go. We'll go for this one. I'll get myself some extra industry, and then we'll work from there. So yeah, the line defenders are winding down. Port guard aren't going to really take much drain on my industry. So now we can look at my offensive units, and you can see my Speedingtons. I want a bit of a motorized brigade. I want at least 24 of these units out. Let me have a quick look and just see if there's anything I want to add to this unit right now. We could give it a motorized anti-tank or something like that. That would be good. Support anti-tank. That would give me a little bit more hard attack. It would give me a bit more piercing. You want these to attack with pretty much as much ferocity as you can. So let's give it support anti-tank. I don't need to worry necessarily about support anti-air too much. Logistics companies would be quite good. Supply usage down is always a handy one. I quite like maintenance companies as well, being able to theft equipment. I'm building so much of it though, it's probably not something I need to worry about too much. Field hospitals are good, though that's mainly a defensive thing. I'm going to go for logistics companies, and I want this to be just a little bit more powerful. I don't mind going for a slightly higher combat width on this unit, so what I'm going to do is actually go to motorized artillery. We're going to put another couple of squads in, and then I'm going to just increase my organization up a little bit more by putting 2 more motorized inventories in. Is that worth it? It's got a lot of soft attack. It's got a lot of breakthrough, which is pretty good. Very high top speed. It's a big unit. I know that it's a big unit. We need to be building some more stuff in it, but let's just do that. And then I'm going to, yeah, I think just this unit's going to need to be increased a little bit, and we're going to just start drawing now on some more of my supplies, start to build some more of those so that we've got an actual armored brigade that works. We're going to need more trucks, more support equipment, more anti-tank, a bit more of everything. I'm also going to sell some tactical bombers to Yugoslavia for extra consumer goods factories. It's really handy. Look at this now. That's probably just released, I'd say about 10 consumer goods. Oh no, 7 consumer goods factories, just 3 immediately. German war economy, look at that, 6 extra military factories. It's too good to say no to, really, so I won't. I've just put in a refining concern industrialist into my land. I like the idea of being able to research through this industrial side of the tree. I need more oil. I'm going to start to produce some synthetic refineries very soon. I need to be able to get my fuel use up a little bit. I don't worry about this until we're much closer to war, because right now the most important thing is getting a huge industry. That's what I want to do. First of my port guard are now down. I'm going to select all of the territory to defend along my coast, and then just make sure that I literally am just defending the coastal provinces. Good. Actually, is there a way? There used to be a way that I could like actually make sure that they sort of got popped into this army. There we go. That should automatically start deploying them. I think you can do that on defensive orders. I might be wrong on that one, but that's good fun if that does work. Yeah, it's working. It's filling up now. Good. Perfect. Well, you'll start to see my coastline begins to become more and more defended. Not very useful now, but it will help massively when the allies come a knock-in. Invest in Turkish. The problem I have with this is if you say yes to Turkish state building, it just gives you about 500 pop-ups. So I'm just going to say no, not because it's not useful, but just because I don't like the pop-ups. That's it. That is literally the only reason I'm doing that. It is atrociously bad. Synthetic refinery. I want to actually get my synthetic refineries up, so I'm just going to spend a little bit of time getting these 2, and then I will go back. Now, if you're playing a German game, there's probably a lot to be said for rushing through, but I'm taking my time, you know? It's all good. Next up, I'm just going to get Goring. Here we go. Lovely. Air superiority, a bit of air experience gain. I like having a chief of staff and everything if I can. It just gives me enough experience to play around with templates as I want, really, as I need. Actually start to put some synthetic refineries down. In the heart of my capital is probably fine. I'll build 4. That's probably too many. It's going to give quite a bit of extra rubber and stuff, but yeah, I think I often have to double check this. Fuel gain from refineries. It provides the state with +1 I believe fuel gain comes from oil, doesn't it? So is it worth building them on tiles with oil? Is that a thing? Might be, you know, and there is oil on this tile. So you know what, just to be safe, I'm gonna put it on Hanover. I think that's probably the best, and then we'll see if that makes a difference. I don't know. I have no idea on that one, but you know, it's better to be safe. Oh, look at my port guard. The port guard are all making their way out. They're all navigating their way to the coastline. Lovely. Just makes me feel secure that the Allies aren't just going to rock up. Quite a few of my generals now have upgrades, and Ambusher gives them entrenchment, which makes them better to defend. As I say, these are actually defensible units. I'm not going to be doing too much attacking with these. So I like having things like that in. Not all of them have those abilities. Fortress Buster, nope. Scavenger, nope. Engineer's fine, it's fine, but I want Infantry Leader, ideally. Actually, this Field Marshal he's not very good for a defensive one. I need the ability to just have somebody actually defend. Defensive Doctrine, yeah, I think this one's better. We'll use this one. Defensive Doctrine, max entrenchment up, perfect. That's a bit better, actually. Recognize Bulgarian claims. Do I really want Bulgaria on side? No, not really. I want to just make my own way this game. I mean, look at the size of my nation. I'm already doing very well. I don't really need to worry too much about getting other people on side here. I'm going to take an artillery designer. I have a couple of tech slots appearing soon. You know what? I've got so much industry now. This is actually the time that I'm going to actually bother to make an intelligence agency. I didn't really have a need for one up until this point, but now I feel like I probably should. So we'll use those just to form an agency, and then I'll start getting some upgrades in order to start to decrypt the Allies. I eventually am going to use it to put some collaboration governments down with the Soviet Union. That seems to be a pretty good tactic, but for now, yeah, I haven't got to rush that one. It's all good. Okay, the spy agency is ready to go. First of all, what you want to do is unlock yourself the ability to decrypt people. Localized training centers is also a really good one if you want to pick up Soviet spies, because you want to spy on the Soviets, because they tend to kill anybody that's not Soviet. Do I do that one first? I'll do that one first, and then I'll make the cryptology department. But as I said, we're doing the right things on this one now. It's all good. Throwing a couple more factories onto trucks. It's worth me actually picking up one more source of rubber if I can do that. It wants 2 of them. Yeah, that's good for now. But I do want to be thinking about armor and planes at some point. Both of those things are quite useful. I'm not too far away from being able to give myself a couple of air innovations. I'm just thinking here, actually. If I do this, I'll give myself battlefield support doctrine. So I kind of just wanted to wait until I was a little bit higher in tech before I built too many planes. Like, I mean, these 1936 airframes are okay, but they're not really what I want to be doing. Yeah, my industry is really coming along now. It's good. I think I'm going to do another civilian factory effort. It's looking pretty decent for me. Look at this. I've actually got 100 industry in that area. Infrastructure, sorry. So I should really be building some stuff there. Let's do that quickly. Goodness me, that's wonderful. And I've got my synthetic refineries are now going to be absolutely juicing my oil, which will be good. There's the localized training centers. Okie dokie. What you need to do is you need to go to recruitment in Europe, and you need to pick a Soviet spy, like so. What did we get? We got a spy that has Seducer. Oh, this is actually the best upgrade you can get. They're really, really good. So now that we've got that, we'll form the cryptology department. Then we can start to decrypt, get ourselves the UK and France under our control. That'll be lovely indeed. Got a little bit of spare army experience. I'm actually going to start going down the mobile warfare tree now. I want to go down to Blitzkrieg and modern Blitzkrieg in order to make my units a bit punchier. I'm also going to start to unlock some medium tanks. I think medium tanks are really fun. They're really good. They're really quick. And if I can start throwing a couple into my armed divisions, that would be lovely. I want to just prepare for the upcoming fights with the Allies. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time building some radar stations on the front lines with France. They're probably a little bit of overkill, but again, it's just slowly adding little bits and pieces in. And the department is formed. Good. Let's start to decrypt France. And bingo, we're also going to start to decrypt the UK as well. Goodness me, the UK is absolutely hidden craziness. Well, in that case, we need to start to get things like the radio interception group. That'll speed everything up nicely. So I've got synthetic rubber, I've got coal liquidization. These are all wonderful things. I need to start actually focusing on pushing down the trees that matter now. Let's go for demand Slovenia. Start taking some land from Yugoslavia now. You can see the resistance in Poland is so low now. I'm thinking of switching from local police force to civilian oversight. I mean, yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. Warsaw, I'm going to keep just one step above. Let's put them onto local police force now, but I mean, that's pretty good. Oh no, civilian oversight. Yeah, no, I did it. Right, that's fine. Good. And then Czechoslovakia is working pretty well as well. Let's just see what that looks like now. If I just take a quick peek on the compliance in these areas, it's going to get to a very slow, very small resistance target. Yeah, I'm happy with this. This is really good. Perfect. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do exactly the same. Whilst we've got this sort of stability, I'm very happy with this. So I'm going to put Czechoslovakia onto civilian oversight as well and just manually put Prague one step above onto local police force. It actually frees up a bit of equipment in my garrison, helps me to move on nicely. I'm also going to put in a Blitzkrieg theorist. Now this gives me mobile warfare doctrine reductions as well as giving my armor technology some extra speed. It's lovely. And I want to go down battlefield support. I quite like the ability of my planes to actually help my land army a little bit. I do need to build more planes. Planes is something that I haven't started yet, and if I want to fight against the Allies, I really need to think about doing that soon. Everything is beginning to stabilize nicely now, so we can start to throw my equipment around a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my reliance on inventory equipment a bit. I'll bring that down to maybe 12. No, we'll put that to 10. I'm going to raise up my anti-tank accordingly. We're going to need some more tungsten for that one, and I'll put myself one more truck in. I'm going to quickly go to my line defenders, and we're just going to change the template a little bit because I want to see what putting the support anti-air would look like in my land. Actually, look at that. The towed anti-air is almost done already. So yeah, I'm going to just pop that immediately in. We'll let the stockpile just sort of trickle through a little bit, but look, the anti-air is almost entirely done already. That's actually reassuring. I like that. Perfect. Okay, well, we won't have to put any more anti-air onto this for now. That's good. So I can actually start to think about doing other things. I'm going to start to build more planes. Let's go for 1, 2, 3 like that. That's going to use all my rubber, unfortunately. And for now, I kind of, there's a few different things that I want to be doing, and all of them take different elements of resource that I haven't got, which is a bit annoying. Let's put these two onto support equipment just for a second, but I need to now just build up a little bit of air experience and see if we can build some better planes. Oh yeah, putting the synthetic refinery down in Hanover was a genius move. My oil is massively starting to increase quickly now. Good, 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 good. We need to just keep building those slowly but surely on the tiles with the oil. Unfortunately, that's by far my best oil tile, but I do have one over here in Krakow. Build a little bit, but I'm just going to actually up the infrastructure in this area just to make sure that we're getting everything we can out of this one. In fact, I'm going to just push that through, and I'm going to put the infrastructure up on my oil. Oh no, that Hanover's already at fault. Okay, that's good. Perfect. Well, this is all working lovely. How bad is putting the anti-tank into this line defender? Pretty bad, actually. Pretty bad. I need more anti-tank. I've done that, though. That's good. I need to produce a lot more of those little cretins. So let's put some in like so. Just rearrange this. We've got even more anti-tank coming out now. I don't need as much anti-air. I can just take a couple off that. We'll put this up to 17. Actually, no, we'll put this up to 18, because then what I can do is trade exactly for the tungsten that I need. This is really expensive, but unfortunately we need to throw it. I'm only trading 8 out. It's not too bad. It's fine. But yeah, we will be building more and more anti-tank quickly. You can see the surplus deficit, well, the deficit's going to massively decrease really quickly. That's good. We like to see that. Oh, little celebration. I have officially finished my 3 ranks of armed defenders. So the line defenders are now sorted and ready to go. They're still massively behind on anti-tank equipment, but we'll get there pretty quickly. Resistance to occupation. Oh boy. So the resistance actually is a little bit higher than we thought. I think the local police force, it was worth giving it a try just because I wanted compliance a bit quicker. But if it's proving problematic, I can always just suppress just a little bit more. Yeah, okay, we'll put the local police force back on. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep, I mean, Prague's doing fine, but yeah, for now, that'll have to do. I gave him the opportunity, and that's fine. Oh, the London surrender. I got North Slovenia and the other district there. Oh, yeah, actually, you can see them. Look at that. I've got this little district that had a single civilian factory, and then this one that had no factories whatsoever. What a glorious pickup for my nation. Never mind. Yeah, local police force, we're going to do the same thing and just make sure that we are keeping an eye on this one. Do I just keep going down? I can actually do this. So this gives land to Hungary and Bulgaria, which isn't brilliant for me, but I can fate of Yugoslavia later, and that's what I want to do. So we're going to keep just pushing down. All your troops, my friend, they are in my land. Out you go. Thank you so much. I now also share a border with Italy, which is quite handy. Final thing I was going to do for the line defenders, I was going to give them field hospitals. They're very defensive units, and I'd love it if I could get a little bit of trickle back on the old support. Like, I don't want these units to die if they get hit. It would be good if I could sort of keep that going. So yeah, I'm going to see what that looks like for me. I need more trucks. I need more support equipment, but this is the time. This is the time to be doing all that. I've got the industrial capacity to be building this out. So we've got anti-tank, truck, and support equipment are the major issue for me right now. I'm going to lower the artillery by 4, which frees up a little bit of tungsten. Then I can increase my anti-tank by 2 to just use up that tungsten, and then I can use my remaining things on some more trucks. That'll do for now. It's all good. We're building stuff really quickly. We won't have a problem for too much longer. I'm going to go for convoy warfare on naval command because I just feel like my submarines are going to play a good design in this, and submarine primacy as well. Yeah, perfect. I like submarines. Surface raiders, no. Night fighting, close combat, effective communications. I like positioning. Positioning's good. Means that my navy hopefully won't, you know, bump into itself when I'm going into fighting. So yeah, let's do that. Now this is something to keep an eye on because in war this gets really, really bad. But look, already my army's so big, I no longer have the trains I need to keep everyone happy whilst at peace. So yes, I know I've been producing like 1 train with 1 factory, 2 a month. I'm going to need to actually up that a few. So let's already just throw a couple more trains in. Well, that'll be good. You can see it was actually starting to hit my sort of space. The actual, yeah, this award has gone through. Fate of Yugoslavia now. Let's do this. Look, there you go. Bulgaria just grabbed a little piece, and I think Romania might have, or Hungary. I think Hungary just maybe grabbed this province. So Yugoslavia is being carved up now. Oh, and I've realized I have not been using my spies as I should. I keep forgetting about this. Radio interception. We're just building up anything that gives me decryption power at the moment so that I can get in behind the defenses of France and England and the UK. I know I'm doing both at the same time right now. It's not very efficient doing it like that, but what you gonna do? Fate of Yugoslavia is done. Okay, we are going to not make puppets. Puppets of Yugoslavia tend to work very badly. I'm going to annex all of it. It's going to take me a little bit of political power, it's going to increase world tension, and it's going to be something that I'm going to have to look after. But the problem with Yugoslavia is it doesn't like being allied with Germany. So if you make a puppet, it's going to get very angry very quickly. Some more military factories from doing that. Not a huge amount, admittedly, but enough. What resources did Yugoslavia have? Really not much. Oh no, there we go. It's just clicked in. You can see, oh, I've actually got some chromium and some tungsten. That's actually quite handy. handy. Hopefully that means I don't have to import... Yeah, look, there we go. I don't have to actually trade with Cuba anymore. Oh, that frees up a civilian factory. Lovely stuff. Now, I find when you start trying to carve up Greece, they get a little bit grumpy and they tend not to say yes. Even though I have 2 million men in the field, they're not very happy with that idea. So we'll have to kind of just go a little bit differently, and I think I'm going to start claiming Memel now this time around. That puts us down the tree. We'll take that from Lithuania. It's just literally, Memel is just a very small city on the coast, but it gives me the option to go around Maginot when we're ready to. Well, my battle cruisers are all pretty much done. Oh wow, time flies, eh? Time flies. How are they looking? Oh yes, battle cruisers, beautiful, very powerful ships. Gives me just a little bit of a cannon. Now I don't want them being fresh when they go into battle. I would quite like to train these, so we'll be trying to work through on that one. But for now, what I'm going to do is actually now make a new type of ship, and we're going to try... Actually, how is this destroyer hull looking? This is a kind of a... Yeah, this is rubbish enough, so that's fine. We'll get this destroyer. It's got pretty decent torpedo attack. I'm trying to think, actually, is the... If I switch this over, I think it was just a crazy torpedo launchers that I want, right? In the little bit of the shield. Yeah, I think actually this torpedo launchers is what I want. So let's go for this. So these boats have radar, they have fire control systems, they've got everything. Basically, these are going to be called the boaty boys. These are effectively my shields that go round my battle cruisers, and we're going to start to just make a small ton of them, and then we'll worry about submarines in a bit. So I can make almost one a month. Pretty cool. I like it. I need to do the same with some submarines in a sec. Oh, we finally cleared our anti-tank deficit as well. That's good. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a lot of these onto like maybe 6 factories to keep these just ticking along. I don't need to worry about having them too much support. It's fine. Artillery is good. Inventory equipment, I'll keep on 8. Actually, no, 10. I'll keep it on 10. I don't like taking inventory equipment off too much. I am in the place where I can start thinking about putting some severe resource now into aeroplanes, and that's what I want to do. It's just a little bit too early because my aeroplanes are just a little bit rubbish is the problem. Let's just get one more on civilian trains. I could make some tanks very soon, but I'm not going to just yet. No, I think for now I'll build the planes I've got. I'll just up them all in sort of like equal amounts, and we'll just sort of play off that for now, but we will upgrade those soon. I've got some an air experience that is beginning to tick up, and we will produce some very good planes very soon. One thing that it's worth doing is just making sure that all of the infrastructure lines in your nation are connected. Because I've incorporated quite a few extra territories, it's often the case that some things are just not connected properly. So like connecting up supply hubs, making sure that your railway networks just go through and connect everything up. I mean, look, Yugoslavia is going to be a little bit of a problem for myself. I mean, this sort of industry, it doesn't take much to build at all. And when you've got the spare factories that I do, it's worth just sort of making this a thing. There you go, look at that. That makes it a lot better. Now, Italy wants in on the faction. No doubt they do. I don't know if I'm going to let them in. I honestly don't know if having them in is going to be a good thing or a liability. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So we've just reasserted our eastern claims. I believe what we can do is just bypass Danzig or war, because Poland doesn't exist anymore. So we'll just bypass that quickly. Now we've got around Maginot. If we want that, we can go through Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg very quickly. I'm going to just spend a little bit of time to expand my dockyard facilities, I think. I mean, that could be useful. Or I can just try and carve up Greece. This would be a good way of starting the war, wouldn't it? I don't really have a border with them, though. That is the problem. Yeah, I don't need to rush. Let's go for the dockyard facilities. I can make myself a good submarine, and we can start just, as I say, I'm really punching out a lot of boats at the moment, and if we can tie this in with a good naval invasion of the UK when we're ready, I think we might be okay here. Oh, Memel folded, and we now own that as well. Huzzah! Let's just expand my defense to include this. I'm pretty sure Memel didn't have anything useful in it particularly. One civilian factory, a single civilian factory. Okay, well there you go. It tried. That's what matters. Also, look how good the Shark of Suppression is, by the way. 25 production cost per suppression. It's really good, really cheap. Poland is already up to 44% now. we're getting 62% of their factories. Hey, that's awesome. And look at this, we're starting to get loads and loads of oil. The more the compliance raises in Poland, which it's now doing quicker because we've only got it on civilian oversight, the more we do that, the more we get Polish oil, and Polish oil is very handy because even though, like, I'm actually exercising my navy at the moment, they are genuinely exercising to level themselves up a little bit. Yeah, look at this, very quickly leveling up, and I'm not losing oil really quickly. My oil capacity is finally good enough to be genuinely able to put everything into the sky and the sea at the same time. Okay, my dockyards are very handily building things quickly now. Let's get myself a bit of a submarine going. So what can we do? We've got torpedoes, torpedo tubes. Yeah, I mean, as well as we'll get the best we can get. A good engine as well. It's not a very good hull. I want to upgrade this as quickly as I can. Radar, I think, is probably the best thing to do. I mean, I could put mines down, I could get more torpedoes, but there's no point having loads of torpedoes if I don't actually know where people are. These are my cheap tubes. That's what I'm going to call them. They are absolutely terrible, but it's a good thing to build. If I can just spam loads of submarines into the sea, then I can cause all kinds of raiding issues for the allies later into the game. Actually just going to get another little squadron of port guards, not on a very particularly high priority, but I do want to just defend my Yugoslavian coastline. I just get the feeling that that is a bit of a weak spot for me at the moment. Oh, I don't need this political power gain anymore, so I'm just going to put an elusive gentleman in, because this gives me access to another spy, a third spy. And this time I'm going to I'm just going to keep picking up Soviet spies. It's kind of worth it for me right now. Once I have 3, I can start to attempt to get just a bit of visibility with the Soviets. Is always really good. U-boat effort. Do I want to get myself some naval dockyards to try and hit? I'm just trying to think of the best thing to do. Do I want to go for capital ships or submarines? I think submarines are probably better, and it gives me modular construction, which makes it so much cheaper. And then crossing the Atlantic, yeah, no, I think that's a good one for me, so we'll do that. And you can see already I've got spare dockyards. I'm now beginning to pump these out a bit quicker. Let's get these cheap tubes going again and get this going straight to the U-boat fleet. How long is this taking to complete one submarine? Really not long. It's doing it pretty much, like, hang on, if I do this 26, it's doing one every 16 days. It's yeah, we're going to have a lot of submarines very quickly. You know what? Thinking about it, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to preemptively set up a naval invasion of the UK. We're going to go from our lovely city just in the sort of northwest of Germany. I'll set it up from there, and I think the best place to go is sort of Hull and around Hull. Normally this is a good target. Actually, I save that. What you want to do is you want to select a position. There you go, where you can actually attack multiple provinces at the same time. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces like that. I want to invade all of them, ideally. It's going to assign 10 divisions to it. I'll press enter and bam, like so. I believe this is going to take quite some time to plan, 70 days. Yep, that's fine. What I'm going to do is take my navy. My navy is going to stop exercising so that I'm not using my fuel anymore, but also so that it can rearrange itself. I'm going to bring it over and move it so that they are now based over in this position. And actually what I will do, spend just a little bit of time making sure that that naval base is as good as it can be, just so that it's got good supply. Now, I've got 22 destroyers, 8 light cruisers, 4 heavy cruisers, 5 battle cruisers, 2 battleships. It's really not a big navy, but it should be enough to do something. I'm going to distribute it into random fleets. What's that going to do? It puts cruisers, light cruisers with the battleships and battle cruisers. I mean, it's done a sort of semi-decent job at separating them. I think, to be fair, I'm just going to halve this selection and balance this out maybe a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That feels a little bit better. You want kind of about 8 screening ships per heavy ship. I just don't have enough at the moment, but that will have to do. So once it's over, I'm just going to make sure that all of the orders are taken off, and we are going to go on to naval invasion support of this and this area. It's going to be really tricky to do. This is an indent that I go to war with the Allies, the chances of me actually managing to pull this invasion off is going to be nigh on impossible, but I'm just going to give it a go, a cheeky go. If we do take out the UK, brilliant. If it doesn't work, we readjust and we go for the Benelux instead. I then need to just make sure that I've got other areas that are not shallow seas. That's ocean, ocean, Norwegian Sea I think is ocean as well, good. And then I'm going to just do a lovely bit of convoy raiding there, and there with my submarines. I've split it into 3 task forces. Again, I'd like to have about 12 submarines on each one, but yeah, it's not doing well. You don't want to do them in the North Sea or the Eastern North Sea, because these are all shallow seas, and it basically makes all of your submarines nigh on impossible to hide. It's terrible. There we go. I've had a little play around with these fleets a little bit more. I mean, they're not ideal fleets, admittedly, but all I need to do with my navy is just do a naval invasion. I don't need to worry about anything else really. And then we are going to just sort of start positioning our troops around basically any front that we are going to have with the Allies. I have one cursory army just on the Soviet border just to keep an eye on that one. I'll put this army on the French border, and then I'll put this one on a nice defensive border that basically stretches across the Dutch, Belgian and Luxembourg borders so that they all kind of just sit there nicely. And then I'll get you to sit near Frankfurt, and then I'll get you to sit near where should we go? Munster. Let's do that. Actually, no, that's a bit close to the front line. I don't want to sort of sap my defense too much. Nuremberg will do. As you can see, the 10 units that are assigned to that order, the other 10 are going to move over, and I'm going to put you on a front line with the Dutch like that. Only 10 units, and I'm going to spearhead to The Hague and to Rotterdam like that. Perfect. Busy or general, that one. As I say, I don't really want my defensive units to attack where I can help it. I have quite enough fighters, so what I'm actually going to do is just assign 1 fighter to each region that I contain and just have them on air superiority just to stop the worst of the bombing. Don't need to do Czechoslovakia or Western Poland, that's fine. And I have 672 tactical bombers left, 383 close air support and a bunch of fighters. All of those, I'm just going to spew them out over in this direction. Tactical bombers I'm going to put on strategic bombing, and I'm going to assign them to my strike army. Close air support, I'll put on close air support and I'll attach to that army as well. And the fighters, I'm going to put 1 of them on interception and the other 2 on air superiority, and all 3 again will just be assigned to this division. Now, this is the attacking division. The planes should follow it around. I've got nice defensive air that'll sort of everyone will get put into place in a second as the army moves themselves around. It should be fine. You know, I really need more of my Speedingtons, so anything that I need to get trucks are just like a priority for me now. I'm gonna have to just spit them out as fast as possible. U-boat effort is done. Cruiser submarine is done too. Cool, that's very nice. Yeah, around Maginot, I think we're gonna just do this now. We're just about ready. Look, the defenses on the Dutch border are quite frankly ridiculously weak, and we're going to take advantage of that where we can. Lovely. 90 days for a 1940 submarine hull. We want to rush that out quickly and get that sorted. You can see I'm up to 1939 construction. I'm a little bit behind on a couple of bits and pieces, like getting anti-tank, anti-air. Need to make sure that all my inventory equipment is up to date. Like we've been doing a lot of auxiliary research, to put it loosely, and I need to make sure that I don't forget everything else. Around Maginot, it is ready, and we are ready to go. Now, I don't get the feeling I'm going to need to do war with France, because let's face it, that's going to happen anyway. So what I'm going to do quickly is just pick up a random industrial effort in order to just build some stuff quickly. And as you can see, we're ready to rock. I am going to get this order firing off quickly. So this is the double order of the breakthrough towards Amsterdam, The Hague and Rotterdam, as well as the naval invasion of the UK. Down to 3 speed because this is going to get messy quickly. Available war goal, we have retake Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg. Now, the tempting thing is just to charge in all fronts at the same time here. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to go one after the other. Now, France is the one guaranteeing the Netherlands, but they will join the Allies very quickly. So I will declare war on the Netherlands. And one of my backup armies here, I'm just going to move you to the front line with the Netherlands now, just to give you a little bit of a defensive line. And this one, let's just reassign you quickly so that you are only, I don't know, you had a good, I quite like it. I like what I was doing before. That's not a bad option really. Actually no, scrap that. I'm going to get you instead to also join this front line. What I want to do is make sure that the Dutch cannot break back through. These troops are not going to be attacking particularly. It's going to just be my aggressive troops, but as I say, I can't allow them to do it. So reinforcements are on, good. I want supply up, good. Upgrades I don't want to prioritize that at the moment. Operations is fine. Garrisons is very high priority. I've got my port guard are almost ready to go, but they are like the least important thing that I could get going right now. And my industry is basically just going to be trying to fix itself. I'm building loads of trucks at the moment. That's about it. But if we just progress slowly, you'll see that there we go. The Netherlands has called France in. Our attacks already are beginning, and you can see, bam, we have 477 soft attack. You will just be able to, there we go, look at these just running through. This will break through super quickly, and already we are breaking through. Netherlands joined allies. There we go. I believe I am now at war with the UK. I am. So we're just going to say go. Is it going to work? Eastern North Sea, we don't have the supremacy that we might want. No. The thing is, getting naval supremacy from the UK is nigh on impossible. And yeah, I mean, we gave it a try. It was well worth having the option, you know? We just want to do that if we can. We don't have the Navy, we don't have the air wings, but you know what? That's probably not the worst thing in the world, because our army can actually just actually focus on what it was doing, what it needs to do properly. So we'll worry about the UK in a second. You can see here, look, we've absolutely just burnt straight through the Dutch. I'm so sorry. It was just, it's not a personal thing. It's just one of those things. Yeah, our strength is just far too high here. River crossings are a little bit of a problem, but really, we've already finished. The Netherlands has capitulated, and we're just going to do a little bit of reorganization to start with. What's happening here? Oh, we have actual submarines that are trying to fight in the North Sea. Okay. That's bold. Oh, we're getting into a big battle. Big battle. I'm not entirely sure that's a good thing. No. I don't want you to do that. The naval invasion clearly hasn't worked. That's fine. Go hold. I just keep yourself alive for a second. Let's not worry about that too much. I've had quite a few convoys sunk here. I don't actually know what the rest of my battle is doing. Are you trying to escape? Is that what you're trying to do? Disengaging. Yeah, they're trying to disengage. That's good. That's good. We don't mind trying to disengage. Trying to disengage is a good thing. There we go. Okay, I think our navy actually survived that, which is spectacular. One thing I do want is, ideally, I'd quite like to get some more war support. Can I get some more war support? Maybe in a little bit. I don't know. We'll see about that one in a little bit. Western Germany is, oh yeah, being bombed fairly heavily at the moment. Let's just have a quick look. Oh yeah, there's quite a few support planes here, enemy fighters. They will be bombing me to smithereens. That is just unfortunately one of those things. But I mean, what can you do? What can you do? I mean, I guess in theory, I could throw up another couple of, like another fighter wing here. Stop it from doing as much damage. We'll get those on interception, but really, I'm kind of limited on how many fighters I've got going at the moment. Okay, round 2. Let's declare the war on Belgium. We have my units about to charge through already, and you can see, yeah, they joined the Allies, but my absolute monsters of divisions will just slice straight through these lovely flat plains, and there's going to be very, very little that Belgium can do. In fact, what I'm going to do is just make sure that we have a new front line, kind of like there, and we're going to see if I can get an offensive line, and we're going to push along the coast to Paris, like so. I'm also going to put another line of infantry now on this area, just to make sure that it's well defended. You can see these 2 little tanks as well are just ready to rock. Oh, Luxembourg, I'm just going to charge in on you as well. It's just an army of 2. That's all it is. It's cute. There you go. Luxembourg has joined the Allies. It's only 2 divisions going through Luxembourg, but I'm pretty sure their units aren't going to really stand too much defense here. Now, France are going to be pulling themselves round really quickly, but as you can see, our armored units are just quickly coming through, and we're just going to start sneaking the victory points here and just making sure that we push through as quickly as possible. Yeah, look at that. We are burning through nice and quick. The Swiss want trade agreements. Either I can produce equipment quicker, I can get consumer goods reduction. That could be really handy. Oh, what do I do? Production efficiency cap plus 10%. I think actually that's really, really handy. We'll do that for now. There we go. We can push through Brussels, and this is going to stabilize our line really nicely. Belgium is almost capitulated at this point. Almost, but not quite. In fact, I know you aren't attacking divisions, but I'd quite like it if you could pin down just a little bit and take some of these victory points. That would be lovely stuff. Thank you so much. Yeah, they're really bad at attacking these units. Really, really bad. Yeah, we are pushing through Dunkirk and Calais. Our lines looked a little bit messy because we just kind of, yeah, ran round in a sort of really weird direction. But this is pretty good. When I actually attack with the right units, there's very little that the Belgians can do. Come on, in you get, in you get. Belgium's capitulated. Perfect. Okay, right, I just need to spend a couple of seconds working out what the hell is going on with my front lines and re-going from there. Actually, there's no point with all of my trade routes to Portugal and to anyone like that because, I mean, yeah, they're not going to get across the sea. Anyone that I'm trading with right now is just it's just no point. Absolutely no point. Is there any land route that I have? Siam? I guess that is technically a land route. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Little pockets of resistance are now being swept aside. Perfect. We like to see it. We've punched through the French line. This is looking promising at the moment. I can't complain about what's going on. Come on, come on, come on. Move, move, move. Yes, yes, yes. Look, we're getting through. We're getting through. We're getting through to Paris. Yeah, yeah, we are. We are. This is good. This is good. This is good. Have we done it? Have we sneaked our way through to Paris, just avoiding the enemy lines? It's difficult to know if we're going to pull it off. I'm just doing little pinning attacks on either side in order to try and break through. Oh, no, no. Defenses got there first. Never mind. Oh, logistics is an absolute joke right now. I need to get some more stuff to the front lines. I'm still fixing stuff. Stuff is being fixed. That's all good. But I just need to keep on constructing, making sure that we have the supply to the front lines that we need. There are some bottlenecks here. There are some definite bottlenecks. Come on, get to Paris, get to Paris, get to Paris. Oh, it's so close. I'm having to just like do some tech at the same time, make sure that we've got everything that we need. We're almost ready actually to get some better planes into the sky. Now that is something I am looking forward to. Come on, there we go. There's Paris. Oh, we are so close right now. So close. Come on, keep on falling back. The French are putting up a spirited defense, an absolutely spirited defense, but we can break through. We have it. We have this in the bag if we choose to seize it. Come on, we can do this. Oh, this is a bloody battle. It really is. This is probably the best example about how not to Maginot I could give. We did take Paris, but France have been stuck on about 90% capitulation this entire time. I just need a couple more victory points and we'll be doing good. The British have pretty much abandoned France. That's good. It means the British think that France is going to fall. They're programmed to do that. That's a good sign. Come on, army. One last little push. I'm just letting my lines reorganize and get back into sort of a more defendable position. This is getting silly. Saying that though, oil, rubber, steel, chromium from the Soviet Union. This is really good. We're going to give them ship designs, but honestly, that's fine. I'm cool with that. That's really good for my industry. Yeah, look at this. Brandenburg. Tasty, 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 tasty. Oil is all looking good. This is quite an important one. Do I want to establish Vichy France? Do I want to do that? No, I'm going to conquer everything. I'm sorry, but Vichy France is of no benefit to me whatsoever. And there goes Rudolf Hess. I thought that he would do that. It's a good thing I didn't have him as an advisor. I'm going to go down Army Innovations now and treaty with the USSR. There's some really good bonuses late game for us there. And there is the 1940 submarine hull. I'm just going to get the snorkel going before I improve on my design, but that's looking really handy for me right now. I'm just quickly building some more industry. I need railways that connect my front line up at the moment. They're looking a little bit, yeah, supply in this area is pretty poor. Come on, one last push, one last push. We can do it. Surely we can push through. Oh no, France are entrenched. They really are massively entrenched right now. Oh, that is a painful attack. Man, we got so close to knocking France out, and this has just been a painful little readjustment for us. Hang on. Bulgaria wants to join? No, I'm just going to ignore everyone for now. As I say, I'm just taking a couple months to pause here. I'm just having to fix the supply issues. There is a severe supply issue going on in this area at the moment, and it is painful. But we are building. We are building, and the railways will happen quickly. Oh, the Soviet Union has declared war on Finland. Yay. So I'm going to take the opportunity to go to total mobilization, and then once we've done that, we need to make sure that my war support is pretty high in order to put a woman in the workforce, and then we won't take a huge manpower hit. I've got the manpower to kind of get through that at the moment. We're doing okay. So far, it's okay. It's just that we've got this bottleneck and it's proving tricky. Oh, I have no idea what's happening here, but the French appear to suddenly have a hole in their front line. Like, okay, cool. That's weird. Sure. Oh my lord, don't even tease me. Don't even tease me. Have we broken through in this small, tiny province? I really hope the answer is yes to that. I'm going to attack, move my units in. In fact, actually, look, just don't you dare come through. Come on, do it. Yes! Oh my goodness. That is incredible. That is the first breakthrough we've had in about 6 months of this conflict. Ignore the hundreds of thousands of casualties. This is clearly how this was supposed to go. Oh, and if I can just close up this little pocket, that would do me good. And I only need a couple more victory points now. Only a couple. 95% towards capitulation. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Oh, thank goodness. Now that the supply issues have sorted themselves out, look, my mechanized are slowly chewing through again. This is kind of what should have happened from day one. Okay, there we go. Oh, thank goodness. France, capitulate. Ah, well, I mean, Luxembourg is still here. Should we just deal with them quickly? But finally, breathing room. Absolute breathing room. We need to just go to the occupied territories. We need to make sure that we are doing all the right things right now. Like, for instance, some of this land is absolutely just being mean. I'm going to have to secret police all of this stuff that I've just taken in the war. It's causing me real issues there, but luckily my supplies are actually positive, which is unbelievable. I need a lot of trucks to sort myself out, but right now otherwise we're doing okay. I think it's about time we got some medium tanks as well. We need some real fighting power here. Now that we've got a moment of peace, I'm going to actually upgrade all of my equipment. I could do the thing where I kind of open up a new wing and get that in. So like for instance with anti-tanks, I could have made half, or anti-air, so I could have made another line and put half the factories on it and switch them over gradually, but I'm not going to do that because I am a bit lazy. What I am going to do though is start to make my proper planes up. Now that I've got a little bit of peace and quiet, I can actually build up properly. This is going to be my fighter. It's going to be a very powerful, very expensive fighter. It's a bit of a messy design, but it's basically just loaded with machine guns and extra machine guns to give it as much air attack as I can. My agility is kind of hit a little bit, but I've got a very powerful engine in. I think for me, that is going to be a wonderful fighter, and I'm going to actually just see if I can convert that over quickly. Ideally, I need to get a lot of airplanes into the air, a huge amount. This is the main thing I need to be working on right now. This is going to be my close air support. It's basically again loaded up with as much CAS equipment as I can, as well as some defensive. I mean, I've had better planes, but it's a much better plane than what I was using before, so it's good. I need a lot of rubber though. A huge amount of rubber is needed right now, and that'll do for now. I'm gonna just see if I can chalk this up to about 30 fighters being produced. I mean, I guess I've got a huge rubber deficit at the moment, so that is going to be a little bit of a problem. What I'm gonna do actually is just get rid of all of my air wings and redeploy them. I've got fighters. I'm just going to start putting fighters up and air superioritying them. I need to basically make sure that all of my areas are nice and defended. We're not going to leave anytime soon, this sort of area, and I just, as I say, I can just afford to wait, keep myself safe, stop myself from getting bombed. It's all good, really. That was an appallingly even battle. 300,000 casualties I took in the end. Oh, I mean, you're supposed to just whip through super quickly, and nope, that's not what happened at all. Just going to spend a little bit of time with my spies. I'm actually going to send all of them to try and build an intelligence network in England. They're just going to go to random places. I'm going to see if I can get to 50%, and then they'll build a quiet network after that. I want to see if I can just figure out what's going on with England, where all the troops are, and how we're going to fight them. I'm also going to try and set up naval invasion part 2. We'll see how this goes. Look at this, we've almost got air supremacy. Just over the Benelux region. This is the problem. Apart from that, we're doing good. Oh, this is really, really annoying, right? There are a couple of Ethiopian troops that I can't get rid of that are just sat on the Maginot Line, and they just keep breaking out, but I can't kill them because it's the Maginot Line. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine. Let me just quickly hijack a couple of these troops. Drive to here for me, please. I need you to just stop these Ethiopian troops from doing whatever they're doing. Hungary and Legionary Romania have just declared war. Oh, I need to be a little bit careful about that because one side might join the Allies here. Legionary Romania just joined Allies. Okay, this is a little bit more of a problem because this is unfortunately now, these are now my enemy. Let's move you to that. No divisions, of course, because I need to get rid of this order first. Come on, let's sort this out quickly. I don't want to have to fight you at all. That would be a bad move for me, but you know, whatevs. There we go. That cleans up the Ethiopian troops quickly. That's, yeah, I didn't care if that was a level 10 thought. That was possibly the most annoying thing that could have happened there. It just shows me having random, you know, countries and people just on my borders. This is all just annoying for me. So I'm gonna have to see if we can't, you know, help this out a bit. Okay, now I can reintegrate Alsace-Lorraine and Luxembourg as core territories. I quite like that. That sounds really fun. Romania hasn't actually called themselves into this war, which is a little frustrating. I don't want an allied power on my borders, so I'm going to, I think, yeah, just justify on them myself. Let's just do that. I mean, while I'm at it, I'm going to justify on Hungary as well. I'm just going to clean these areas up. Oh, Luxembourg just called Legionary Romania in. Oh, you have been betrayed, Romania, because you do not have troops on the borders. Not anywhere near as much as you should. So I'm going to absolutely just seize the advantage here and attack whilst there is no one on the border. Very sorry, but really, Luxembourg is to blame here. Which is not something that can often be said, but it absolutely is true in this particular case. Oh, here we go, women in the workforce. This takes away the recruitable population hit. That's awesome. War bonds also just gives me more factories for a little bit. That's lovely. Yeah, Romania is now just being sliced in twain by my beautifully amazing motorized divisions. They're really quick, really awesome, and they're just literally driving all the way to Bucharest. It's yeah, not much that I need to think about or worry about doing here. Hopefully they will give up very soon. Oh my goodness, Italy has actually killed Greece this game. What is going on? A competent Italy. I never thought I'd see the day. This is weird. Renewing the agreement with Switzerland. Goodness me, they are just giving me so much stuff. It's amazing. I can't complain at all. Come on, Romania, just give up, please. Oh, speaking of operatives, how are we doing? Oh, 28% on all fronts. That's lovely. It's exactly what you want to see. There we go. Legionary Romania is out, and we're just going to quickly, yeah, I mean, my army know exactly what they're doing. Apparently we're all in and ready to surround Budapest, so yeah, what more do we need? Let's just remove our units around a little bit, and we'll go to attack without having to actually do too much here. Yeah, look at this. It's gonna be nice. It's time to also close my economy. Right now it's all about resources and keeping as many as I can. I just need rubber. I wish I could get rubber. Rubber is just a huge problem for me right now, and I think it's just because of all the trucks I'm building. But yeah, maybe should we just probably, we'll say that that's the last batch of those, and let's just take some of the trucks away here. Minus 70%. There's really no point having all of these factories building planes because the rubber is just a proper issue. I wonder, is there a way that I could stop this from costing so much rubber? Self-sealing fuel tanks. Oh, is that what it is? Ah. Okay, well, I can get rid of that. That's not a problem. Put some more armor plates on instead. Let's switch those round. Oh, hang on. No, those are... What are those? Why would I call them that? So let's just quickly change the template, and already, yeah, my rubber allowance is looking a lot better than it was. Oh, that's much better. CAS, I think I could probably do the same thing. I suspect that's exactly the same thing. We've actually got a bunch of refineries that are now going down, which should be increasing the amount of rubber that I'm producing. So I'm hoping that, yeah, fingers crossed, very soon we should be looking pretty tasty on this front. I'm already starting to get those fighters out quicker, and what's it doing at the moment? It says that it's doing 3 per week. I can get more than that soon. That's fine. Minus 14% on the old rubber, minus 75%. Oh, but we're building more. We're building more. I think I fixed it. I fixed the issue. Might take a little while, but we'll get there. I've also now made a 10 kilometers an hour tank, which makes uses tungsten and steel. That's not too bad. This is going to get added to the things that I build, and I'm going to start chucking a load of industry into this one because I'm going to start making some actual tanks now. It's Germany. We should have done this probably long ago. In fact, here we go. Let's start making a medium tank template. I need mobile battalions. I think we'll make some mechanized to go with this one. And remember, you need to keep the organization above sort of 30-ish. So I'll be making it look pretty hideous, to be fair. Pretty hideous. Keep it like that for now. This is what we're going to start with. It's a 30 width division. It's pretty horrendous. I'll make it look like a unicorn. And I'll start to make at least some of it in a bit. But, you know, we're not worried about that just yet. For a second, I have naval invasion superiority. So I'm just going to press go on this briefly. I don't actually know if this is going to allow me to give it a... Oh my god, it allowed me to invade. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was not supposed to happen. Okay, right, hang on. Backup brigade. Quickly, quickly. Over here you get. We may have a naval invasion on our hands. This could be absolutely the most silly thing that I've done, but I have my navy currently assisting with this invasion. I don't know where the British are right now. I have no idea where they are, what they're doing, but they appear to have just let me through. Or they are very much, however, at home, which is not good. Can I make a landing though? Have I got any sort of landing at all? Yes, I'm in Edinburgh. Okay, I'm going to just immediately put my other army to join in and say, yep, I need you to go, go, go. And in the meantime, I need to just, this is where speed is important. You attack there immediately. I need you to go to Glasgow and round to the Highlands over in that direction. You too need to desperately help to push towards Newcastle so that I can try and make sure that this invasion works for me here. This is, oh my goodness, if this works, I am going to be absolutely amazed. My navy is just being torn to shreds at the moment, like absolutely torn to shreds as they attempt to try and get me to do this. But, have we managed to push in there? Yep. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Right, you go and keep attacking and go to Newcastle. You need to just cut across and take as much land as we can. Oh my goodness, and somehow we've actually taken a port. I don't know how we've done it, but we are in and we are just going to try and snake our way through. If I can take Newcastle, oh, I need this tile. I really do. Oh no, I've lost 2 of my super carriers right now. It doesn't matter if my entire navy sinks right now and this attack succeeds. This will have been perfect. Oh, reinforcements. Reinforcements. Oh yeah, my reinforcements have arrived. Okay, right, this is good. In you get. I need you just to quickly start to just cause carnage. Planes, 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 planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 planes. Just immediately just go to Edinburgh, come and attack England. Close air support. Yep, we're just gonna make an absolute mess of everything. Okay, my navy did escape. I don't think I've got much navy left. Yeah, I think I lost 2/3 of my navy there. Let's have a look at unread naval battle results. Oh yeah, that's a lot of broken boats. Yeah, here we go, here we go. This is good, this is good. Just keep coming round. I need you just to take this land as quickly as possible. Why are you not taking this? Come on, push down, push down, push down. Yeah, break through the middle. Come on, let's just cut down the spine of England. Oh, it's the fact that I haven't got any planes in the area. This is the painful thing. I need all of these planes. Come on, all of them. Get over here, put your work into Northern England. Come on, I need you over quickly. I need air supremacy. That's it, we're pushing through. It's painfully slow. Painfully slow, but they've got 2,000 fighters in the air. I just can't compete with that. That's just too many. But as I say, I'm having to manually force my units down here and to actually do this invasion because they are just refusing to move. Morale is low. Everyone doesn't really want to be here, but honestly, this is fine. Oh no, we are being absolutely pushed back. The UK have fortified. They are doing very well here. Oh, look, all of these troops are now being pushed back. Oh dear, no. Right, everyone stop, everyone stop. Just hold the line, solidify the line. Don't let them keep pushing back. This is ridiculous. You know, I really like the idea of building loads and loads of tanks, but I don't think I'm actually going to be able to get away with it because I'm not doing anything useful with them right now. Let's instead get ourselves some more artillery, like a lot more artillery. Inventory equipment, yep, I actually do need to switch over. I've got a bit of a surplus, so that's fine for me to do that right now, not a problem. And more trucks, always more trucks. There's never any situation ever where I can't just build more trucks. Do I want to call Italy in here? I'm wondering if they'll be able to help me with the invasion of the UK. They might be able to throw troops at it. They may be able to distract the UK slightly by attacking them in Africa. It's you know what, annoyingly, I'm going to have to do it. I think we're going to have to take this stage. I'm also going to, I'm just going to let them sort of do it. I'm also going to declare war on Hungary. I know it sounds really weird, but yeah, they'll join the Allies. I need to do that before the war thing finishes. And yeah, it's all good. Look, all of our troops are ready to go. We should be able to just overwhelm them pretty quickly. And Italy is now in the faction. I will call them into the war. Yeah, look at that. Already Hungary's collapsing in on itself. That's okay. It's going to be a pretty messy war, but I'm hoping we should be able to just push through that. Get it done very quickly. Oh no, I got naval invaded by the UK into the UK. Oh, that's a little bit painful. We need to just say no to this. No to this, thank you. Let's just attack into this province and see if we can't win it back, because this is, I mean, this is game over if I lose this port. Absolute game over. I think I might be able to push through and take it back. Yeah, we did. For you. That's that could have been an absolute car crash. Yes, okay, look, the Italians have sent troops over to the UK. It may still be that Italy can save this absolute car crash of an invasion. You never know. Go on, Italy. Go on, get in here. Yes, yes, I know supply might be a bit of an issue, but I think I'd rather take that risk. I would rather take that risk. I'm just pushing around the coast now. This is good. And I think actually what I might do is I might just try and force build a couple of naval bases here. It's going to be tricky because I don't own a lot of this land, so we'll see if it actually works. But I think if I can do this, I might be able to actually just supply my units a little better. What's happening as well is that Italy is now distracting the UK in Africa, and that is working really well. It's pulling a lot of their divisions away and a lot of the allied divisions in that direction, which is just a lovely thing to see as well. Oh, have we got Newcastle? Have we got Newcastle? This is going to be quite the result if I can pick Newcastle up. Yes! Okay, right, supply-wise, that is going to help a lot. All of my convoys are being sunk. Massively sunk right now, but it's fine. It's fine. Yep, okay, good. We're pushing. Right, one of you go down to Leeds, the other one go down to Hull. You are all pushing successfully. If we can then cut to this tile, I can cut Cumbria and South Scotland off, and this will give England huge supply problems in this area. Massive supply problems. Yes, look at this. Perfect. Yep. We're doing it. Punch. Do it. You stop them from attacking. Just give me just a moment of time. Good, we have a pocket. The pocket has been created. We may still win this. This could have been the worst invasion of the UK that you've ever seen, but if it's successful, then it works. I totally took my eye off the ball on this war against Hungary. It's almost there, but yeah, that's a bit messy. When did that happen? Okay, Hungary is destroyed. Amazingly, the UK actually gets some rights in this, which I think is just very strange, but who knows? Who knows what's going on in this piece deal? This could get very messy. Legionary Romania actually is sat at the table here, even though I destroyed them. Weird. Cool. Okay, well, apparently I won. How and why I won, no one's entirely sure, but yeah, go on then. Another juicy pocket, this time in Western Cumbria. Come on, do it. Oh, pocket closed. Okay, just gather your strength a second. We have the advantage here, but I need to just spend a couple of days just making sure my army's on the front line, making sure everyone's happy, build up a bit of planning, and then we go again. This time, we push for London. First, we take Sheffield, then we take Nottingham, then we take Leicester, and then we push down to London. Here we go. Yes! Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am for this. I've got so many things to do at the top of my decision tree. Everything needs doing, but just run. No, I didn't mean to select everyone. No. Oh, never mind. I think who knows what's going on at this point. Come on, just do this. London's fallen. Excellent. Come on. You can't have much in you, UK, surely. Oh, they've still got loads in them. How annoying. Oh my goodness. It's done. The UK has capitulated, and I believe this may be it. Oh, okay, right, Italy is in this war, which means they are going to claim some stuff. That's not good. It's not good, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful about what we go for. There are certain things that I definitely want, and there are certain things that I don't necessarily need, but we are just going to progress. We're going to take the Netherlands, we're going to take Belgium, and we're going to take Luxembourg. I think that's fair. I'm also going to take France, again. I think nobody can argue with that one. I think I'm going to take Legionary Romania, and I'm going to start taking some of the United Kingdom. We're going to start with Scotland, because look at all that delicious tungsten. And make our way down the UK. At some point we will have to, we'll submit those demands. Okay, now there are some contested elements here. I'm going to just demand them. Oh yeah, that's right, of course. There are loads and loads of all of the colonies that all got involved in the war as well. I can take them. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that is contested at the moment, but I'm going to just continue demanding them. They're all kind of elsewhere. I mean, a lot of them are in the Mediterranean. And they don't particularly need all that stuff. It's alright. I'll let Italy have all of that random stuff. It's all good. Okay, they're being annoying. They're going to contest. No, the UK is mine. East Anglia, Gloucester, Southwest England, Sussex, Greater London area. All of those I am going to take. I don't think I need to worry about any of these for now. I'm going to demand those and forfeit the rest. I'm also going to demand that I take basically the world's navy. Submit demands. Well, that was an incredibly messy peace conference, but I believe we've taken everything that we wanted to. We have the whole of France. We have basically the whole of Europe, which is looking lovely. I've taken the United Kingdom. We've taken Canada. We've taken a lot of Africa, although it is very, very messy with the amount that Italy has, admittedly. I don't really want to know what happened to the British Raj, but we'll just ignore that that's happened. That seems a bit messy. I took Australia. I took the Dutch East Indies, although now they're the German East Indies, I guess. I've got New Zealand. It's an absolute mess. Oh my lord, poor Germany. Germany absolutely came out of that very, very unhappily. But we're not quite done. There are some different bits and pieces that we need to do, some places that need to be suppressed, some other places that need to be let go a little bit. We've got 418 factories, we've got some suppression to do. I'm just going to do some sorting out, and what I'm going to basically do now is move my army around a little bit. We've got plenty of troops, like look at this, I've got 5 full battalions still. This is my original land army, and you know what, we could go after the Soviets now. This could be a thing. Equally, now that I've now got a super fleet of about 500 ships, this could also be the time to attack Italy, especially because Italy's got all of the land. You know what? I think Italy's got to go first. Let's do that before Italy really realizes what's happened. I mean, admittedly, the Axis is looking lovely. I could just keep Italy in for a bit, and then we just go for the Commintern. Oh, I think I need longer for the Commintern, because the thing is that the stability of the Soviets is too strong at the moment. What I'm going to do is I've got 3 Russian spies. Let's go and just quickly see if we can start a collaboration government with the Soviets. I've got to do that first. Once we've done that, then we can go to war with the Soviets. Oh, by the way, look at the resources I have now. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I'm nowhere near any of that. I'm going to quickly, instead of going for closed economy, I'm going to open myself up to export focus for a bit. I could even go free trade, and I think I'd still probably be fine, but I'll go export focus just because I won't make too big a leap, just in case something goes horribly wrong. Yeah, okay. And I'm just spending, as I say, a little bit of time just fixing everything. We've got a bunch of stuff to do now, but yeah, if everything's fixed, this is all going to be good. Yeah, I know it's early, but I'm going to kick Italy from the faction. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It was always going to happen. So what we'll do is we'll unselect all of these. I'll get 10 divisions, and I'm going to plan a naval invasion. We'll send it from France. We will directly target Rome, or maybe the province just to the side of it. There we go, like this, like so. Let's get that prepared. I've got 2 armies that are sort of preparing to just navigate their borders a little bit. Yeah, but we're really not gonna wait anywhere near as long as we probably should to get this done. But sometimes you just have to go for it, you know? 125 days to justify on Italy. Yeah, that won't take too long. Oh, looks like Japan has declared war on the Philippines, so they are now at war with America. Yeah. So all through the war I had construction repair on, and it was basically just making sure that all the damage I was taking was being fixed really quickly. I no longer need that anymore. What I can do instead is just focus on getting things that actually help me, like improve national spirit, remove bitter loser. Ooh, yes. Daily political power gain +1. Don't really need that, but it's good. This is really where I start to enjoy the game. 203 civilian factories, just pumping out everything. Just build, 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 build. It's amazing. I can probably change around my things as well. I don't really need war support massively these days. Or, I mean, actually, that's probably... Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, but it's not the best one. War industrialist would be amazing, just to throw even more improvements on top of improvements. One of our spies is being captured. Not a problem, as long as they all don't get captured. That is the main thing. I just need one of them to get to 50%. That's all I need. Oh, no, another one's just disappeared. That's slightly worrying. Italy appears to have declared war against Saudi Arabia. Okay, sure. I mean, fine, but whatever you say, I'm happy with whatever choices you make, Italy. Oh, here it is, Curacao. Oh, oil, 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 oil. It's amazing. I want everything in this to be synthetic refineries. Yes. Fuel silo? No, 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 no. I want you to be a synthetic refinery. Can I replace... Is there a way that I can remove buildings and replace them with better things? That's what I'm curious about. Yes, I can. Okay, perfect. Right, now I can build more synthetic refinery, and it means that I gain more fuel from this tile, and I'm actually going to improve the infrastructure on this tile as well, in order just to make sure that that's giving me all the fuel that I can. I mean, I'm just having a look and seeing, like, where is all my oil coming from? And that was 85%. I mean, that's pretty cool. Montania. Okay, that's over here as well. Perfect. We've got a lot of stuff to do, and it all involves getting petrol out of the ground. Okay, the Intel network is at 50%. Good, good, good. Quiet it. Stop it. Perfect. Now, that means I can start to do some things. Rescue captured operative. Yep, let's start this one. Commence when ready. Automatically repeat. Good, and then we'll start the real fun. Okay, it's go time. We're just gonna absolutely charge in. I mean, Italy barely got anyone on the border. I know that my troops aren't particularly strong here, but I think we should be in a very good position. I'm just trying to think of the best place to throw planes in. I think actually we're going to just go from Corsica. I'm going to quick deploy some fighters. 900 of them to 3. We'll get them on interception and send them over Italy. You can go and do air superiority over Italy, and then I'll have 5 divisions of, look at this, close air support, Italy, done. Perfect. Declare war. The fun thing is that Italy have so many troops in Africa, they are not going to be able to fight me on their actual home, which is of course more important. Now my navy should mean that my naval attacks are pretty effective. I'm trying to think as to why they wouldn't be 100% effective. There we go. I just needed to put a couple more boats onto it, and there we go. We are off and running. In comes the naval invasion. Oh no, we've been embargoed by Sweden. That is always such a shame when that happens. Oh, that's right. I meant to, you know, actually put troops on that island. Whoopsie. Never mind, eh? Never mind. We'll make do with wherever they ended up. Sort of over, we'll go to there and put you over the Alpine region. That's just as good. And we have made a landing. Excellent stuff. You are still trying to escape apparently, but not a problem. Can you just quickly come and join in, and let's get the offensive line. One of you is just going to basically drive up to the other coast. You're just going to drive along the coast in that direction, and we'll see if we can quickly just go and borrow some Italian land. And we already have a naval base, so yeah, this isn't going to be much of a problem really. Let's just get that airport, and then I can move all my planes over. Like so. That really didn't take very long. Go to Italy, come over to this airbase. I know it's a really rubbish airbase, but it'll help. Oh wow, yeah, these troops are melting the Romans. Oh, this is how the fight should have been originally. Rome's already fallen. It's already fallen. That is crazy. Oh, I love how much easier Italy is to invade when you naval invade them. Now that Rome's fallen, look, I've got one army just carving up from the north. I don't have to do anything. There's no microing needed at all. There is a civil war also. I think I will. I mean, this is an Italian ally. I'm pretty sure these count as, hang on, right, let's just think about this. This is, here it is. It's they're in the Axis and they are a puppet. Okay, transfer the territory. Yes, I absolutely would love it. Absolutely would love it if there was a puppet involved here. Oh yeah, look at that. They absolutely have just fallen apart so quickly. Can we get into Messina? Go on, go on, go on. You know you want to. You know you want to. This is always the hardest part of the landing. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You know you want to get over. Oh, they keep reinforcing it. That is so annoying. Ah, there we go. We've made it to Palmero. We did it. Ah, lovely. Weirdly, Saudi Arabia is actually in this trade deal. Like, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to demand basically all of Africa. That's what I'm going to do. And there we go. German Italy joins the ranks. Lovely stuff. My navy's going to very quickly be told to just go on hold, please. I have no oil left at all. No oil. And I really should have a bunch of oil because, oh boy, I have a lot of resources on this map. So one of the fun things I can actually do now is in the previous war, I had to go to service by requirement. I don't need to do that anymore. We can go for extensive conscription instead. And I'm actually going to borrow some of my puppets' defenders. We show their template. Let's have a quick look and see what they've got. This'll do. I duplicate it, call it Italian Sea Defense. Let's just remove everything from it that I don't like so. We'll save that. And what I'll do is some of my sea defenders, I will just, actually, what am I doing? Of course, the hat. The hat was absolutely the best template there. Oh no, I was an absolute idiot. I had to copy it, didn't I? I had to copy it rather than do anything else. Oh, so it's not the duplicate button, it's the copy button. Right, now, that's the one. Okay, right, I'm an idiot. Let's make that again. I just lost a huge amount of points there, but never mind. Where's the little beret? There's the little beret. I'll save that. We will just hide stuff that I don't need at the moment. There's a lot of things that I'm not really using. And I will change these divisions to Italian divisions. Therefore, it uses their manpower, and I can get my manpower back. Lovely stuff. Now, the problem is I don't want them necessarily to get their own autonomy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend a bunch of my production just basically building things for them. Yeah, I don't really know. What should we build? Yeah, I'll just build some industry. This is actually probably the easiest thing to do. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll keep an eye on this. You can see that their autonomy will just slowly decrease, and I don't want them to gain any more sort of independence from me. It's much easier to control them if I am in charge permanently. Last thing for me to do now is the Soviets. So yeah, I guess that's our next step. Cool. All the spies are now absolutely ready to go. So we're going to prepare collaboration government. This is the one. Get both of my spies on this. Commence when ready. Automatically repeat. Done. Just means when we go to war with them, we haven't got to worry about fighting with them for so long. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the British Raj go. No, they are still a thing, unfortunately. I was just thinking, actually, having a high population, low productivity place. Burma might be a good example of somewhere that would work nicely. Yeah, actually, no, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Population-wise, I was thinking about releasing a puppet and then using its manpower, but I think actually we're doing okay for now. Oh, Italy will work out soon that it needs to raise its conscription. It's gone total mobilization. Come on, it's all good. Don't you worry. You can relax a bit now. Yeah, go for it. Come on, we're going to justify against the Soviets. It's kind of the last big hurrah in this game, isn't it? The HUZZAH. I actually have enough artillery to put one into my line defenders. It's incredibly expensive, but it actually works really well. So I'm actually going to put 2 divisions of infantry and 2 artillery into it just to increase the defense, up it to 30 combat width. It's quite costly, but my industry is just absolutely ridiculous at the moment, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. We can actually make Italy a puppet now. There we go, that's even better. Where, hey, integrated puppet would be even better. We might be able to do that. Okie dokie, we have a war declaration possibility with the Soviet Union. Excellent stuff. What we're going to do is effectively sit here and just let them attack us. I have quite a few fighters now. They are very rapidly expanding. Let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. I will get them again on air supremacy and stick them in this plot, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and same job. How am I doing on CAS? Quite a few. I mean, okay, I feel like the Russians are probably going to have more planes, but I can't tell you how much I'm building here. Like, there are so many planes, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm just gonna declare war and let them attack me. The Soviets can't help themselves normally. They will probably try and attack me. Yeah, you see, look, here you go. Am I holding? I feel like I'm just about holding. I might be pushed back a little bit in certain places, but yeah, I basically want them to just spam and lose all their strength attacking me. Right, let's see. I've got one piercer attack that's going to go through Kiev down to sort of Crimea, and another one coming up from Romania in the opposite direction. Let's just see how effective these are at striking through. I'm hoping some of them are going to have more effect than others. And we've got some movement. No, it's not endless movement and unlimited winnable movement, but it's pretty decent movement nonetheless. But supply yet again is an absolute pain in the arse. Okay, right, we're gonna have to fix that. I'll put them on truck supply and see how this goes. Trucks needed, quite a few. It might take a little while for them to get to the front line, but I've got thousands of trucks in defense, so I think we should be fine. Oh, encirclements. We have cut through and we have some encirclements. Quickly, go and just pincer these troops off. Thank you so much. Again, always look at the supply and just double check where all the railways are and see if you can cut them off. You don't want the Soviets to be able to resupply themselves, and this is a very good way of stopping them from doing that. Oh, ho, look at that pocket. Oh, yes. This is a lovely thing. Right. Yeah, I just will let that sort of surround itself for a second, and we'll just sort of enjoy that encirclement. Luckily, they are trying to bomb me, but I have all of my construction repair going and my 240 civilian factories just fixing everything. So they literally cannot shut down my economy. They're trying to bomb me into submission, and it's just totally the wrong thing to be doing because my attention's elsewhere. It's good. The collaboration government is almost set up, and I am loving it. As soon as we do that, it's good. Oh, look at this pocket of Soviet units. I reckon there's probably at least 24 units in here, and they are all being surrounded and munched up royally by my beautiful armed units. Look at this, just pushing in, doing the Lord's work. Oh, I take that back. I think there's like 50 divisions in there. Okay. Well, in you go. Let's just do this. Unfortunately, the war tracker is not working at the moment. I might have to reload the game and see if I can get it to reload. But yeah, not showing us what we need to at the moment. I'm just going to let you watch this briefly. Look at this. Look at it. Num 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 num. Bam, 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 bam. Yes, that's right. You give me achievements, game. 37 divisions, watch that. 36. It's just going to 33, 32. Oh, down it goes. Oh, yes. Oh, that's it. Perfect. Right, well, yeah, now I guess we redeploy and we draw a, what do I do? Yeah, I'll just go offensive line, I think, and just go. I think. Yep, and because of that huge encirclement, the Soviets now have nobody on the front line. Literally nobody. Well, let's just watch as half my army goes to Moscow. Fingers crossed, what we'll see is the Soviet army now, yep, abandoning front lines entirely. Go, everyone. Just go. Let's just eat them up. At this point, I'm just going to mass mobilize. Casualties are unimportant. Claiming the world is what matters here, and getting the speed to do it is the most important thing. Yeah, there's just no one on the front line. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know where they've all gone, but they've gone. So I restarted the game, and look, I can look at the fielded battle plan, and I've lost 500,000 people. Let's turn that off immediately. I don't like that. How do other Hearts of Iron YouTubers make this look so easy? I don't know. Huh. China just defeated Japan. Okay. Sure. Maybe I think the US might have got involved there. I don't know. But yeah, wow. Ooh. Oh, the Soviet Union just declared war on Iran. Okay. Sure. I think the Soviets weren't really stretched enough as it was, and they wanted just to make it a little bit easier for me. I get that. That's fine. Oh, I get some 3 Russian units. Okay, are they any good? They're not bad. They're not bad, actually. Yeah, fair play. Why don't you go and, yeah, I don't know. Just head over there. Why not? Actually, no, scrap that. Walk to Moscow. Walk to Moscow. Oh my goodness, I'm such an idiot. I have heavy fighters. They're not fighters. They've just been sat here not doing anything. Oh my goodness, I am such an idiot. Oh no. Okay, right, right, like air superiority, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is possibly the most stupid thing I've been like deploying all the fighters I have, going, why are my fighters so rubbish? Why have I never got air superiority? It's because I'm making heavy fighters. All the buttons I'm pressing doesn't work like that, does it? Ugh. Right, okay, hang on. So these will all fly into the sky in a second, and oh look, you can see everything turning green now. Ursa, you're such an idiot. So, just so you know, for next time, okay, when you press the clever button that says add fighter wing, what you actually need to do is add the heavy fighter wing, not the fighter wing. Yep, what an idiot. I had 2,000 planes in reserve. No wonder my army's just been doing so badly. That's why. I feel like such a numpty. I really do. I can't. I just can't. I just can't. Anyway, this war is appalling. I've lost 1.9 million people. So we've learnt about the power of air superiority, yes? You see? I told you, you would be able to learn from my playthrough and work out what you did and didn't need to do to make these things work. Oh, the Soviets are actually almost out of manpower. Oh, really? I think I might just see if we can't burn that a little bit. Oh no, it's starting to go up now. It's starting to go up a little bit more now. Okay. I think they may be in the middle of a little bit of a conscription. Oh, this could be fun. The US is demanding my American holdings. Do I fancy a war with the US right now? Yeah, I think this may actually give them control of pretty much all of America. Otherwise, they may go to war with me. They may go to war with me. This is probably a bad idea. I'm actually going to say they're not worth the war. Oh dear. Let's see how bad that looked. Oh, so America just gets Canada, do they? Okay. Oh, I lost all my oil as well. Oh, that's painful. Never mind. It avoided a big war, and that's probably for the best. I'm already in the middle of a big war. Germany knows not to, you know, take on 2 giants at once. It would never do that in real life. Never at all. Oh, we've almost closed in on Moscow. Almost. Right, I'm actually going to slow this down a little bit. What I'd like to do is cut Moscow off from everything else. That would help me a lot. Ah, there we go. Yeah, we've taken Moscow. That was sort of accidental, but works quite well for us because it's an amazing supply hub in the area. So yeah, okay, let's just do that. We're gonna leave that flank, and we're gonna move to Stalingrad. See if we can't take that one next. Up to 2 million casualties. Yep, indeed. Yep, service by requirement may be something we have to consider soon, if I can get my war support up a little bit. Yeah, this is going really well. Admittedly, my call-up is really narrow at the moment. I really haven't got many people called up at all, so it's we're not doing too badly. Stalingrad is now gone, now just Leningrad, and we can end this. There we go, we've finally broken through here, and we're now going to Leningrad. Come on, through you go. Punch through. Go take the airfields. I need to do this as quickly as possible now. We have far too many dead Germans on our hands. We've gone into overall battle plan mode now. This is fine. You can see we're trying to just burn through this now on 5 speed. That's Latvia gone. Come on, keep going, to Leningrad, It's all good, you can do it, I've run out of pretty much all equipment. My army is totally obsolete now. I am without any supply. Most of my men, look at my manpower just leaking down. Oh dear. But Leningrad will now fall. Okay, like, how much? Oh, 89% towards capitulation. Where's the next set of victory points? Oh no, if I've got to fight all the way to the Urals, I'm not going to be happy. Come on, just on 5 speed. Oh dear. Switzerland has left the trade agreement. I don't like the sound of that. Oh, thank goodness. Did you see the lag spike was the lag spike of just joy. We did it. It's done. It's over. Right, for our purposes, we need to do the following. We need to make sure we get Leningrad, Moscow, Stalingrad. Okay, that's all good. I'll take the Navy because I can, and I will submit demands for now. Looks like Iran is actually going to start demanding things as well. Okay. Sure. Okay, what's Iran going for? They're going for quite a lot of stuff, so I'm going to actually select all and demand it. Yep, that's less stuff. I thought so. Select all. Demand. I refuse to give in here. Select all. Demand. Close. Submit. Select all. Demand. Close. I'm not going to back down. And there we go. Confirm and exit. We managed to bully Iran out of the peace deal, and look at that. Oh, should we do it? Should we do the thing? Let's do the thing. Proclaim the Greater German Reich. Oh, we did it. We finally did it. Oh no. Oh, that was awful. That was about 3 million Germans dead. That was possibly the worst example of how to beat the game you've ever seen, but World War II is now over by 1943. So, you know, I shaved 2 years off the IRL. How could we have done it differently? Well, we could have actually teamed up with Italy. That probably would have been good. We had a chance to take out Spain and Portugal, actually. That would have pretty much unified Africa for us, which would have helped a lot in terms of resources. Alternatively, I could have gone for the United States, taking the Canadian provinces and then just marching down. That probably would have been a sensible move to stop America stealing all of it. I mean, they're pretty big now. They've stolen a lot. There's a huge amount we could have done. We could have gone Denmark, Norway, the traditional way, and then naval attacked after that point. We also could have gone for the UK really early, before they could get the Navy in place. That's normally a good way of doing it. But man, I'm going to leave it there. I'm done. 717 factories, by the way. Oh, that's so many. That's so many. Have you seen how many, like, solid lines of deployment I had? Like, so many being built at the same time. It was ridiculous. I was like, for the hell of it, saying, okay, give me another 50 artillery, and then just forgetting about it. And before you know it, look, it's like, yep, go on, man, I've got spare. And you're like, oh, okay. What do I do? This game took an absolute age to film, so if you enjoyed it, and remember, I do have a coffee tip jar. It really helps me to film this sort of content. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, all the interaction you can give it, likes, comments, shares, all that sort of stuff, it will really help it to do well with the algorithm, because I fear what's going to happen with such a long video that isn't Civ, and it would be brilliant if you could help me along. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, I shall see you later. Oh my goodness, look at that. The US still has a bigger score than me. Oh, you know what? Sod it, I'm off. See you later, goodbye. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, I Am, Salty Tech, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Doughboy91, Sean Gratis, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Davalex, Skeptical Bear, Kroger Brand Trail Mix, Alex Noob, Cinnamon Beard, Portland, Petra Ryan, Matthew Hatch, Amir EC, Henry, Rom88, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Boy Zorro, Callum Billy. Thank you for all of your support, and everybody that supports the channel generally. You're all brilliant. Thank you.